Hey guys, my name is Ray, and today's the day. We're finally basically 1 week away from Game of Thrones, and I have an awesome video along with my boy Kyle today. I'm like super hype. I can't even get the thoughts out from how excited I am to talk about some of the stuff we are going to talk about today. But like I said, I'm here joined by Kyle. Kyle, tell him what's up.
Not too much, man. I'm trying to get my voice back. I lost a little bit of it when I was back in Nashville, Tennessee, man, doing that vlog. But man, more hype. There's another little trailer that came out today, and more pictures keep on coming out. We're only a week away from Game of Thrones. It's gonna go by fast, man. So we got to enjoy it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I want to kind of open up with your adventures at Con of Thrones because I have a weird analogy with that. But before we start, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat who's joining and has been waiting for us. Shout out to everyone who's joining us. Marie Hill, let's see, Rich, Sam, Lara, let me see, Akshay, Verma. You see anybody else there? Laura. Oh, let me see.
It's funny because I'm still Kyle's fucking chickens on OBS, but people still call me KFC and Azura Hype.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly forgot that because that's something I did on Photoshop. But we will have it updated. I totally forgot about that. I should.
No, it's all good.
I should have this shit like with flames coming out from under you and shit. Yeah. Nah, but I
think it's awesome.
No, what you call it? But we will have that corrected for the next time. But like I said, I'm super hyped. I want to hear some of your adventures in Con of Thrones. You know what I mean? It's something that I was very depressed while you guys were all having fun. All you YouTubers over there. I've said that I felt like I was a wildling left beyond the wall, and I was like,
that makes me want to cry.
I felt like I was left to the White Walkers. Like, here's this one, like, and I was just left behind. That's how I felt, and I wasn't the only one. So I think that you should, the people, you should tell them, how was it? What was your experience like at Con of Thrones?
Oh man, it was incredible. First of all, me and George got to meet for the first time. You got to hang out with George a couple times now on our channel. That was super cool. The highlight of our weekends was obviously we're the only YouTube channel that has these exclusive interviews in this press room, man. So like that's incredible, right? I mean, we got an interview with Lysa Tully. Kate Dickey, she was super cool. She actually wants to be pen pals with me, which is awesome. So we're going to keep in contact as friends, which is like this ridiculous to me. We got to hang out with Miltos, who played Syrio, which was cool. We get to hang out with him a little bit. He was a super cool guy. We actually hung out after with David Peterson, the linguist. We got to hang out with him for like half an hour and just chat. He came to the marketplace with us. We actually have a new partnership from this place called Shire Post Mints, and they make all the Valar Morghulis coins. So we're going to be doing giveaways on the channel and stuff like that. And he was super cool, man. Young Hodor was a great interview. Obviously, I think the interviews were fun, but meeting all the people there in the weekend, man, we got to, I got to meet so many cool people, members of the Chicken Coop, members of the YouTube community, members of the Song of Ice and Fire podcast community, watchers on the wall, just all around, flight attendants that were there on a break for one day. They're like, yeah, we're here to, it's like normal people that they were just super excited to be there. And I got to say, man, I went there 2 days early, but that weekend, those 3 days, those were the 3 best days of my life. Easy. I had a blast.
I mean, it looked like it was fun. Like I'm telling you, I saw you were chilling with Mark. I saw you with Aziz and all these awesome.
Yeah, we chilled with Aziz. Aziz was super chill, Reyes. He was funny. We chilled with Zach from Watchers on the Wall and their videographer, which is fun. I got to hang out a little bit with the other members from History of Westeros, Aziz and not Aziz, Shea and Sean, who were super cool. We got to chill with Tony. We got to chat with Tony Teflon, which was cool, man. Tony was cool. Basically, everyone from Watchers on the Wall was really nice people, man. Some of the panelists, some of the people that were in the press room with us, and man, the people that we interviewed, like the actual actors and actresses from the show were like so down to earth, man. just speaking to them, they're just like normal people. They were like enjoying the weekend themselves. You know what I mean? This beautiful location. It's actually the largest hotel in the United States that isn't a casino. 300 acres of, I want to call it forest, because I got lost in there. It was like a fucking jungle, man. But it was so cool, Ray. I wish you could have been there, man. If I had $1 zillion, I would have fucking paid for you to come down there.
I mean, next year we gotta make that happen. Next year
for sure,
we legit have to make an adventure of Con of Thrones, and I really want to go next year. But
next year, Gemma's gonna come. She's already agreed to come and hang out with us. You should come down. Maybe what we'll do is like rent a house or man, or like a series of rooms, and we could all be like chilling together, and we can like get like a sick vlog of all of our adventures together. Because the one thing that I did learn is this was my very first con, and me and George were like, yeah, we wish we would have done some things differently. Like we learned a couple of lessons, like how to do things properly. You know what I mean? I'm really new to all this stuff. I'm new to YouTube. I've only been around YouTube for a full year, so yeah, man, it was just a blast, man. And I'm a Canadian. All the things I heard about Americans, man, I don't take that into account. They were so polite and nice everywhere I went. Just had an absolute blast. I spent a lot of money from the GoFundMe, obviously, went towards getting us these press passes in the hotel room and stuff. So thank you to everyone who supported me and George getting there. Yeah, we got 94 gigs of footage and stuff. I still got to go through like 60 of it.
That's a lot.
I know. Can you guys tell I'm tired?
I mean, like I haven't heard from, like we usually talk on a frequent basis. I really haven't heard much from you. I'm like, where has Kyle been? But it sounds like it was awesome, like I said. And I really enjoyed some of the interviews you did. I know you interviewed the actor who plays Jan Royce. That one I really liked the question you asked him.
I put that one up. I put only a snippet on Instagram. But
right?
I have a 4-minute interview talking about I don't want to spoil too much, but talking about if he's going to support Jon as King in the North, because we know that they're all going to be talking there in that room again. So I'm not going to spoil it, but he gives a pretty juicy answer without trying to get himself into trouble. So that'll be going on too.
I think that he's one of the really ones I'm really hyped to see, because you haven't told me anything. You have me just like everyone else waiting, and I'm like so hyped to see what he tells you, because like he's one of those characters that is still very important in the story. Like we know that Lysa Tully died. We already know that Hodor, whatever happened with Hodor, we probably might not see young Hodor again, but we will see Jan Royce. So I'm really excited to see that one. But
yeah, honestly, man, the thing that I took away from it was, I've done videos for Walking Dead. I've done a few videos for Walking Dead, and I've done a couple videos for Marvel. The Game of Thrones community, the people that were there enjoying themselves. The cosplaying was amazing. Like 40% of the people were dressed up, man. It was sweet. But yeah, man, people were so nice. That's the big takeaway from the weekend. We just met so many cool people.
I mean, that Jon Snow lookalike dude is like, I don't know. It's like
he goes to all the different cons, Race. He goes to he travels everywhere and does this, man. So he's been to like 10, man. He was showing me footage of when he was at other ones.
He looks like, I was like, oh shit, like I had to double take for a second. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? And the outfit, the cosplay too, because it's like his face looks, but then he has like a dope costume as well, like a well-made outfit. I was like, oh shit, like it was really dope. I really enjoyed it. I also like, you mentioned Tony, I just saw that Tony did like a live stream, and he also went through like the weapons, they had like all the Valyrian steel weapons and all that, the Dothraki weapons and shields, man,
solid helmets, stuff like that.
Oh man, that looked like it must have been. I'm telling you, I can't wait for you to pull all your stuff out. But I know you're tired as all hell, so I won't push you. I won't push you so much so that you could release that stuff. But
it'll be out in the next week. I want to try to get it all out before season 7, because I want to focus on season 7, and everybody in the chat, I think we're all hyped for season 7. I mean, we're a week away. We've been waiting over a year, man. Let's get that, man. That's what I want to munch on.
Yeah, no, but also I know that your birthday was this week, so happy belated birthday, bro. I know I said happy birthday on Facebook and whatnot, but
yeah,
we're on video. Happy birthday, everybody in the chat. Put those cake emojis in there for Kyle, because
Oh, thank you, man. I'm 31 years old. You know what's funny is I was out the other day, Race, and someone was like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I don't know." You tell me. They're like 25. I'm like, I'm not gonna ask anyone else to tell me how old they think I am.
I mean, that's good. That's always a plus when it's like, you know what I mean. You're like, I could go for either or. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to play. But
thank you, though. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the shout out.
No, yeah. But I wanted to also talk about, we're a week away. We're only 1 week away, 7 days basically away from Game of Thrones season 7. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this week. You know what I mean? Like, I legit feel that it's too far away, but it's so close at the same time.
The thing is when it happens, it's gonna go by so fast. Like, I remember me and George were talking, and me and you were just like, after you watch an episode, it's like, I want more. You know what I mean? It's like it's not that you're not satisfied, but it's like you're satisfied. You're so satisfied that you want to be more satisfied. It's so hard, man, to just get, because you know what I mean. It's like, oh, the story is so amazing. Like, like I love Lord of the Rings, but I love Game of Thrones more, man. Like Marvel, Game of Thrones for me. I'm not picking anything. Game of Thrones is my jam, dude. I'm saying.
I mean, I honestly believe that the last season is going to be like a movie. It's going to be cinematic level type shit. I think it's going to be top of the notch stuff, and I'm really excited for next season. I'm thinking about next season, and this season hasn't even gotten here. But during this week, we have gotten a lot of shit. We've gotten a lot of stuff that we definitely have to talk about, and I really wanted to talk about because I titled this live stream "Winter is Coming" because next week winter is here, right? Isn't that what they're trying to sell us on? That winter is here.
Winter is here, yeah.
So winter is coming today, and winter will be here on Sunday. So I just wanted to talk about the first 3 episodes. They released the titles and descriptions for each one. Now, the first episode is titled Dragonstone, right? And the synopsis says, Dany comes home. The episode was written by David Benioff and Dan Weiss. It was directed by Jeremy Podeswa.
I butcher that too, man. I say Jeremy P because I don't even know how to pronounce it.
I don't know why, but it basically says that Daenerys comes home. Jon organizes the defenses of the North, or the defense of the North, and it also says that Cersei tries to even the odds. Now, there's a couple of tricky things in here that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to dissect them by parts, right? But first, I wanted to start off by the writing and the director. What are your thoughts on the director and the writing, basically, on this episode? Because that could give us a lot.
I think that, you know, a lot of people are very critical of the writing in the show because, you know, people have read the books and people want to. I don't know, man. I feel like Dan and Dave have made some good changes from the books. Like there's things to say that, like, hey, like, you know, I enjoyed this more. Like I know people hate Sansa, but I think her arc makes more sense in the show. I don't know, like we can go on about this. You know what I mean? But I think that this season, and you know, I'll go back to Con of Thrones. I was interviewing Paula Fairfield, the sound designer, who makes all the sounds for Dragons and White Walkers, and she's saying that this season is so fucking much better than the last season. It's going to blow people away. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, how can you even say that? Season 6 was so good. So I'm not concerned at all about it. I'm sure there'll be some stuff that me and you, like, as book readers, will be like, we wish we had that. Probably with Euron or someone like that. You know, maybe with Cersei.
Dorne, Euron, the same old, like those secondary characters. But I like Jeremy P. How you like to call him, Jeremy P. Let's call him
Jeremy P.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna butcher his name again. He was an interesting choice because for some reason I wasn't that big of a fan of the first episode last season. I mean, for like when we saw the first episode, it got the job done. But as I've been watching the episodes over again, I noticed that it wasn't that good of an episode. It wasn't like like once you watch it the first time, it's like, and you go and rewatch it. To me, it doesn't have like that same, you know what I mean, like flair. Yeah. So, they were good, but that's not his fault. You know what I mean? It's not. He didn't write the episode. He directed them. If you're looking at the direction and how everything looked, I think that they were good. Director-wise, story and script and writing, that wasn't as good for me. But I do believe that when D&D have to write something, or they are writing something, I think that is something maybe that George is putting as canon, or it might have to do something more closer to like a vision that George maybe wanted and they could only, like, you know what I mean, put into the show. What do you think about that? Do you think that there's something a little bit more when D&D writes something than when it's any other writer, or do you think that holds any more weight?
They're more closely connected to George, right? I mean, despite I mean, I think at this point we can say that the show and the books are different entities. I think most people will agree with that. I mean, you're never going to have a 100 for 100% adaptation. I mean, that just wouldn't make sense anyways. Why would anyone want that? I mean, it would just be so easy to predict everything. That's my point of view on it. Do I agree with everything that Dan and Dave do? Absolutely not. But I think that this season, man, there's only 7 episodes, right? So we have to figure that they're going to be so jam packed that we probably won't feel like we're missing anything. That's the genuine thought that I have, that when we're going into the season right now, that's what I feel like is going to happen. Now, I'm hype always, so I'm biased, but who knows, man? There might be an episode that I don't like. I was like, I mean, they really fucked this one up. But I think for the first episode, this is supposedly going to be the most impactful premiere in the Game of Thrones series so far. Episode 61, Dragonstone.
I mean, when you look again at it, it says Dany arrives, gets home or whatever to Dragonstone. So we know that basically she's going to Dragonstone, and I just found interesting. Cersei tries to even the odds. Mm-hmm. It says Daenerys comes home, and then it says Jon prepares his defense. Like with the whole Jon thing, it made me wonder of, all right, Jon is preparing his defense. Is he preparing defense from Cersei or from the North? Is it like from both? Like, what is he doing? Like, you know what I mean? And then on top of that, you have Cersei basically trying to even the odds, or you know what I mean? Play on that. I'm like, is she gonna go after Daenerys? Is she gonna go after Sansa? Because now she knows Sansa's in the North. What exactly is happening there? Because again, I don't know any spoilers. I've avoided spoilers all season. So you know what I mean. If there's something I'm asking to know, but I don't want to know, don't tell me. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I get it.
I know what you're saying, yeah, man. I think that, I was talking to someone earlier about this. The first 3 episodes look like they're going to be very Daenerys-centric, which makes sense. In the books, we're like, oh my god, when is the Myronese not going to stop? You know what I mean? When is it going to get pulled apart? Like, fuck, let's get Daenerys to Westeros so we can get to the meat. But I get it. Part of the beauty of the story is the journey. I mean, that's why Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite books out of the 3 books or out of the three books for the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings series, other than The Hobbit. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think something major is going to happen. And you said Jon Snow, like, it looks as if he's going to have some problems early on. I mean, I think this is alluding to the defense of the North, meaning the North. And if the North is gone, the whole kingdom is fucked, basically, because the White Walkers will just come down and take King's Landing.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean,
I think they're talking about the White Walkers at this point. Jon doesn't care. He cares about the Iron. He cares about what's going on because I think he cares about gaining their support because he cares about fighting the White Walkers. So I think that's going to be the main focus for Jon, anyways.
Because that Cersei tries to even the odds thing, it really makes you. Because, like you said, I do agree that it is going to be very Dany centric. The first 3 episodes, it seems like everything is going to be revolving around her, integrating her to Westeros, right? Mm-hmm. But then, is it too early to be preparing for the White Walkers? I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm interested in seeing that play out. Because, again, nothing that Dany will do will surprise me. Unless it's she's on a dragon and that Entertainment Weekly photo we saw. When that happens, I'll be like, oh shit, Dany did something. But until then, I don't think that anything is going to be very impactful for Daenerys. There's very little that would shock me. You know what I mean? Maybe that, and maybe her and Jon meeting or something like that.
I love you, Amelia. Don't kill me for being Ray's co-host tonight. I love you. I love you.
No, Amelia. Amelia is my wingman. You know what I mean? She knows. I think she told me she couldn't today, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure, but next week me and Amelia will be back at it. But I see a lot of.
Actually, Amelia's been messaging me on Facebook. I got 18 unread messages, so she's actually apologizing right now because I'm trying to reply to people on trying to listen to Rays. Sorry, guys, I'm being a dick interrupting, but that's just sorry. No, yeah, she's blowing up my fucking goddamn phone, Amelia. God damn it.
Everybody's like, Amelia is coming back, people. This is not. I did not throw Amelia out. We did not cut. Amelia is, my wingman. But shout out to everyone in the chat. I see a bunch of more people. The one true David Adams, Amelia, Mr. Skillen, Dish Murphy, Steph, Cardinal Doomsday. Shout out to all of y'all. You see anybody else there? I don't know. Maybe my computer is a little bit slower. I don't know.
Jeez, man, I'm slow today. Did we say Big E? I love Big E, man. Did we say
shout out
Leanna
to Big
Stark?
E.
Phil, we got Phil H. We got Dish Murphy, Misha Houston. She's awesome. Karkiklia is from Greece. She's on that Game of Thrones grind over there. She's doing some print stuff on a website. She's awesome. Oh, we got Ricey in the fucking chat. Sweet,
hey,
man.
Ricey, mi hermano, my brother from a European mother.
That little fucker, he's back in here, man. That little rat bastard, UK. Fucking Ricey.
Big E said that Amelia is in the black cells. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like my camera makes me look yellow. Like
I think it's the background, because like the background of all like the little Iron Thrones and stuff. It's just like people think that you are. I mean, hey, I could use a little bit more color. Look at how fucking pale I am.
I actually changed. I adjusted my camera, and I feel like it makes me look yellow in all the live streams. Probably might set this shit to default after the day, but let's see.
Let me ask you a question, man. Are you happy with the episode names? I mean, I'm not opposed to them.
I mean, to be honest, I feel like they were very smart in holding them as much as they did, because they're pretty telling, and the synopsis on each one, they're pretty telling to me. I wouldn't have been shocked if they would have released it like the same week of each episode, because let's move on to the next one, Stormborn. We know what that's going to be basically revolved around. The big thing, whatever big thing is happening in this episode, is going to revolve around Daenerys, right? I mean, that's what the giveaway is, because it says the synopsis for this episode is Jon faces a revolt. I believe it says what was the other one?
Oh, geez, man. I think Tyrion. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Daenerys receives an unexpected guest, and Tyrion plans the conquest of Westeros.
Yes, Tyrion plans that.
Yeah, like we saw that Tyrion was knocking over the little lion. That was cool. That was chilled. The episode is Stormborn. It seems like the Lannisters are going to take a huge hit this episode, in episode 2. It seems like Melisandre might be the guest, because I saw that on when I actually saw the name of the episodes. That's what Winter is Coming suggested, and it actually makes sense. You know what I mean? That she would be unexpected, because if Jon were going, they would let Daenerys know that Jon was going. You know what I mean? And then I think that Jon faces a revolt. I put Littlefinger in this picture with like getting choked out, because I think that it's pretty much going to be Littlefinger plotting from behind the scenes with your friend Sansa, your friend Kyle, Sansa, your friend.
Yeah, I know. I'm a Sansa supporter. At least I'll stick by it. You know what I mean? I think that she's going to be a fan favorite by the end of the season, but you'll see.
Me and Amelia have gotten into it so hard over Sansa that I think Amelia gets irritated every time I bring Sansa up. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I understand that Sansa is you see how you see sports figures, you're like, this prospect has upside. I think that Sansa is a prospect that has a lot of upside. You know what I mean? I think she has a lot of end game material.
Like Kristaps Porzingis from the New York Knicks. He's still yet to develop into a Dirk Nowitzki, but he could.
Porzingis, the unicorn.
I knew you were. I was waiting fucking to say that one, man. I knew you were gonna like that, because I know you're a Knicks
fan. Of course. Porzingis, the unicorn. Oh my God. Long may he reign.
Great analogy, man. Prospect. Yeah, I mean, she's learned so much from like Olenna and Marjorie and Cersei and all of these people.
That's the one that, to me, that's the one that she learned from that scares me, though. Cersei.
Right.
Cersei isn't as smart as she thinks she is. Everything that Cersei has done, she's brought it up on herself. And I feel that Sansa has picked up that trait. Everything that Sansa has had chances to get out of certain situations, and she doesn't take advantage of them. Like, I'm going to make a video on this. Like, I'm going to make a rant video, basically, is going to be. I'm going to lay out all my points. I might even write it out so that people could be like, look, he makes valid points. And it doesn't sound like I'm just a crazy lunatic bashing Sansa. You know what I mean? Because that's what it sounds like when I get emotional. So I'm just going to lay it out. But I honestly think that Sansa has a lot of upside. She has family ties to a lot of major houses, like right, like Robin of the Vale is her cousin. You have basically she's a Tully. She married Tyrion. Who knows if she might have a claim to Casterly Rock when it's all said and done, or some type of anything on that. The North, like I just feel that she has positioned herself without even knowing in a very good place, possibly. I just think that she has learned from Cersei, and that to me makes me think like you're not as smart as you think you are. That's what I get from Cersei, and that's what sometimes I get from Sansa. Maybe
No, go ahead.
No, I was like, maybe I'm just overlooking her. I don't know, but that's just
Well,
me.
here's the thing. Well, I mean, Westeros is a very masculine culture, and I think that obviously, I mean, Daenerys coming over, that's going to change things a little bit. But we have seen women in power. I'm not saying that they aren't achieving anything, but what I think is if we think about it, what are the things that women can use to, like, I mean, if men are in power, I mean, we can argue that Sansa may be the most beautiful person in the whole realm. Like, she's beautiful in real life. She's just if you walk down on the street and as just a male with hormones, we could probably walk by and be like, wow, that was a really pretty girl. You know what I mean? Yeah. Imagine what she could, and now with the lessons that she's learned and her house name. And so, I mean, we heard about Tywin talk about wisdom, and she hasn't shown a lot of that. Okay. I'm ready to admit that. But will she apply that? Is she going to be the same person for the whole fucking series? Absolutely not, man. That's what this whole series is about. It's about transformation, and she's going to transform into someone different. Will she be what like the big end game player that I think she's going to be? Probably not. I'm just saying she's going to do something, man. I mean, she has to.
I mean, with me, it's like I'm similar to you. Like, I feel like she's missed. It's like a hit or miss, right? I just feel that she's whiffed so many times that she cannot do it anymore. Like last season, and God knows, Mark and Ricey are in the chat. They could back up what I'm saying. I loved Sansa last season. Yo, I was the #1 supporter for Sansa last season until that whole veil thing and all the questioning. And just the way that she works is just so fucked up. She's such a sketchy person. And she learned that from Littlefinger. You know what I mean? So, to me, that always makes me feel a certain way about Sansa. And I hope that she does mature. I hope that she does change. And I hope that, things go for the better for her and the Starks. But, I mean, it's hard to do a job when someone is you put up a brick and then somebody removes the brick when you turn around. You know what I mean? That's what I feel she's doing with Jon. Why should Jon?
She's been featured a lot, man, in the trailers and the photos. She's been featured a lot.
And she always got a stank face on. She always got like that stank face, like you know what I mean? Like she mad or something. Like,
so I don't know, man. Do you think that she's going to be one of the main characters this season? I think she's just going to become a main character. Like,
oh yeah, no, of course. It's the crazy thing is about Daenerys, Jon, and Cersei is basically everything is going to revolve around 3 places. So I understand. Like, I've thought about it. The more and more I think about it, it's like, because the actor said that they were filming more than they ever have, right? But it was because they had so many other characters. I mean, all of the Tyrell characters are gone. The Boltons are gone. Like, all these other houses, we're maybe most likely not going to see anything from the Night's Watch anymore. You know what I mean? All these characters are together. So I understand now why they maybe cut it a bit more, because now we will get certain storylines straight through. But I don't know. I think she will be featured. I do think she's going to be huge. And they keep playing on the fact that her and Jon are not going to be on the same page. Like, that seems to be like a real thing this season, that they're not going to be, all goody two-shoes with each other. They're going to be at it, and they're going to be questioning each other.
Yeah, and we got to think, they got to thin the herd, man. So it's possible that she does bite the dust, but I think that the death toll is going to be pretty high in season 8. I don't know if you know this, Race, but when I was interviewing Paula Fairfield, she said that every episode in season 8 is going to be 80 to 90 minutes long. So
who was that?
Paula Fairfield, the sound designer. She said that every episode is going to be 80 to 90 minutes long. So
I wish.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God! Oh, that would be lovely. That would be.
Well, it's not going to be lovely. It's actually going to happen. She just straight up said it. She's going to be working on season 8, and she actually announced it when she was getting interviewed by Watchers on the Wall. So, guys, spicy nugget, and she actually said nugget, by the way, before that, which is hilarious, which made me and George laugh. But yeah, so you got to think like, how many people are they actually going to eliminate this season if they're going to have, because if they are going to do 90 to 80 minute episodes in season 8, that's technically 9 episodes or 8 episodes. So that's almost a full season. So we'll see, man. I don't know. I think she survives. I think Littlefinger bites the dust. In the books, he may make it till the end. Like, he might make a move that might make to get himself further, but I just don't see it in the show. I think that he's going to be one of those people to get rid of.
I definitely think Littlefinger dies, but I think that by the end of the season, because Dish Murphy says that I will be surprised by Sansa. I won't be surprised because I am expecting Sansa to turn around because she cannot get any worse than what she's done. Like, that's the reason why I'm thinking she might turn it around. Because I'm like, she basically betrayed Jon last season. That's the way I see it. She did something really shady and sketchy last season. And then, like, I won't give her credit for knowing Ramsay Bolton. Jon didn't know. You know what I mean? And yes, was he gullible? Yes, I'll give her that. But she knew what Ramsay was. And she still sent her brother in undermanned to fight this war. If Jon died, she should have, because, like, I feel like she has that Cersei complex. Like, she wants the power. And yes, like you said earlier, they do live in a misogynistic world, right? But I feel that if she knows that the campaign dies, if Rickon and Jon die, like, nobody will support her. Because she saw that when, you know, basically everyone was saying no to them. She saw that if she realizes that Jon is what's helping her get from point A to B, I just feel that she was kind of very dismissive of him and his importance in it all too. So I just hope, I do agree that I do believe she will get better. I just hope that she gets better sooner than later. And it's like, it's not like in episode 7 that we find out that Sansa was good. Like, you know what I mean?
People are asking in the chat rates, they're saying, did they mention to you if we would have to wait until 2019? I didn't get that inside information. Paula just spilled the beans after she was talking about the evolution of Drogon's voice. She was just saying that the episodes not in season 7, but in season 8 will be 80 to 90 minutes long. You can see you highly doubt it, Lord of Last Earth, but I'm telling you, man, I'm going to listen to Paula. She actually works for HBO and Game of Thrones. So,
I mean, if she says that, I take it as gospel.
Yeah.
So. I mean, I do believe that. What were her exact words? She said it'll be 70 to 80 minutes each episode.
She said 80 to 90 minutes, full feature-length film each episode for the 6 episodes of season 8.
If she said that, I believe her. I at least believe it's.
She said it in 2 separate interviews. She said it with Watchers on the Wall and with us at the Press Pass release place. So she said it twice.
So. If she said it twice, I definitely believe her.
Like, oh man, that was people were retweeting that shit like crazy, man. When we were down there, people were excited, man.
You can't get more credible than that. You know what I mean? I feel that if someone who works on the show and is telling you about Drogon's voice, like, if this person has the intellect or the intel, like, that's one thing that I hate about how people dismiss Sophie Turner, right?
Yeah.
To be honest, I think that Sophie Turner has this persona that she's developed. That it's like crazy teen or crazy young person that, like, you know what I mean? I think she just brushes everything off and everybody just takes her like as a joke. But if she says something, I'm going to take it at face value. Why? Because yes, she was a child before, but she's an adult. And if she's telling you, like, look, this is like I remember during Comic-Con, she had said something like that, you know, Sansa and Jon were going to have like issues, and everybody was like, why would I believe Sophie? Like, I'm like, why wouldn't you? Like, she's an actor. She has the scripts. She definitely knows things before any of us. Like, you know what I mean? So I'll take her at face value if she says something. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Paula was an amazing interview, dude. It's funny because when we were asking the questions raised, we were only supposed to get like 5-minute answers. But she went off for 10 minutes on the voice of Drogon. And then she started talking about the Night King's voice. And like White Walkers and like how he can't speak, and she talked about how like speaking was like he was above speaking, like omnipotence, like it was like below him to speak. It was it gave me shivers, man. I can't wait to upload this.
That sounds dope. I mean, yo, if somebody describes, because the way you got to understand is when these people, these actors, and these people who produce these certain things, like for example, if they receive a script, they have to know exactly how they have to come across on these. Like it's detail for detail. Like I have actor friends, and it's like so detailed. You're supposed to portray this. The character has to convey this. If she makes the sounds and she's telling you that the Night King is so above it all, like that gives you so much into the Night King's mentality, like the way that the Night King thinks. Like that to me, that's insane. I wish I would have been there. Like that. Makes
you know what she told us too, Race? Is she told us that the budget going forward for Dragons is almost unlimited. George is here in the chat, by the way, everyone. George is who was with me at Con Thrones. She said that basically for season 7, there's like a dragon in every episode, and they're huge. They're all humongous. But going forward, like season 8, like the budget, like we hear what the budget's going to be, but like season 8, it's going to be like unlimited almost. They don't care. They want it to be the best season. Like season 8 is going to be just so fucking crazy, people can't even imagine.
I mean, I would imagine.
Man, we were blown away. We tried to ask her more. But that's all. We had a limited amount of time with her, right? So,
I mean, shout out to George, man. I mean, you guys look like you guys were having mad fun. I don't want to hear about Con of Thrones. Like Con of Thrones, it makes me sad. Like I legit, I saw like the Instagram videos on your Instagram. I would stop going into Instagram overall because I was like, damn, like it seems like a really cool environment. Plus, it seems like you just get really exclusive stuff. And like one of the cool things that I didn't say earlier that I really liked was the thing about the coins. I would really like one of those coins. I want to see.
Oh, we'll get you one. We'll hook you up.
No, what you call it? Yeah. I would like to see that because it's so dope that you could have like authentic looking props and things. And I remember seeing the video. I think or I don't remember if you told me that the coin was made before. I think you said.
Yeah, so they actually they made them before the show.
That's even better. That's like George R. Martin's like the way he wanted it, right? That's the way he pictured them.
Yeah, they commissioned them for George specifically. Actually, they were working with George.
That's dope. Man. That's awesome. Like
they were super. They're actually gonna come on the channel. They actually love to chat theories and stuff. They're super cool, man.
I mean, I'm telling you, if you haven't and you want to see like little sneak peeks of all the stuff that George and Kyle did, you should definitely check out his Instagram. What's your Instagram again?
This is Zora Hype. Zora Hype, all one word together. Capital A both times. Is Zora Hype.
I mean, I was like, damn. At least, thank God that guys like you and Tony documented it, and like what I mean. I was able to see some of it.
Oh shit, we got a donation here, Race.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. Game of Theories from Marie. She donated. It says Ozzy. It's an A for Aussie. Aussie $10.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Like anytime thank you again, Marie. You're the greatest, man. I mean, I just enjoy the support and having Marie here every weekend. She's like one of the OG like Game of Thrones people. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't remember my channel without Marie Hell. You know what I mean? Without Marie. So thank you, Marie, for all the support. And thanks a lot. That helps the channel hell a lot.
You deserve it, man. You deserve it for sure.
Let's see.
Man, we got to figure out what week we're having you on the channel for an episode review, man. I know you do them with Amelia and stuff, but we want to have you on the channel too, man. Like, I mean, oh, dude, I just want to talk about it every day. Like, we're getting less amount of weeks, so we need to talk about it more.
No, for real. I mean, I'm down for whatever, bro. Yo, I love myself some Thrones. I'm coming on vacation. Yo, bro, I'm not even lying. My vacation starts the day that Game of Thrones begins. So you already know the videos are going to be coming out. They're going to be like hotcakes. Oh my God.
It's like a fat kid on a cupcake is what you're trying to say.
Oh man. No, they're going to be like hotcakes, bro. They're going to be straight out the oven. Yo, it's going to be a spicy meatball every Sunday right after. Because basically the way that I like doing it, I like to, on Saturdays, do my live stream. And I like to release, like, my thoughts on the episode. Like I said, this season I'm going to be reacting to it. I hope I don't look too much like a dweeb when, like, I get overexcited because I really do tend to get, like, really, really super excited for some reason. But I hope that, everybody enjoys it. I'm trying to do something different with that. But I definitely hop on, man. I always enjoy going on your channel and, talking with Gemma and George. You know what I mean? And Johnny. Shout out to Johnny too.
Johnny, I love him.
I was enjoying him and his mom with the song.
She's hilarious, is she not?
Yeah, I love those videos. Shout out to Johnny. But nah, man. I mean, It's crazy. We're 1 week away. To me, that's insane.
Shit.
I mean, just me thinking about it makes me like, it makes me feel like a girl hit on me. I blush. You know what I mean? Just thinking Game of Thrones is a week away. I don't think this is natural. But let's move on.
I don't even feel like it's real. Like I don't like, you know what I mean? Because we've waited so long, I don't know how to feel about it.
Yo, you know how many shows HBO has released that are good shows since the last season
All
of Game of Thrones? I mean, I personally watched The Young Pope.
Silicon Valley is my favorite. I love that show.
No, I freaking love Silicon Valley. Like I was upset because I didn't know that the last episode was the season finale. I thought there was like 13 or 12 episodes. I think they cut it down or something.
Yeah.
But I was like,
but the quality of the episodes are so high, though, right? I mean,
yeah, they're really funny. I mean, at least Ballers is coming out. I like Ballers with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I haven't seen that one.
You should watch it. It's pretty cool. I know you like football, so. But I mean, I saw Pretty Little Liars. No, Pretty Little Lies wasn't. No, it was Little Big Lies, wasn't it? I think something like that. With Nicole Kidman, Reese Witherspoon, and all them. That was a dope show. The Young Pope, I loved it. Westworld. You still haven't seen Westworld, right?
I actually watched the first 2 episodes of Westworld, and I really like it. I'm actually going to binge the whole season right when it starts to come back, and I'm actually going to do some Westworld videos, man. We can jump on that.
You know what was crazy? That when Westworld said that they were going to release their next season in 2018, we all went crazy, right? Like, a bunch of people were like, oh my God, they're so far off. But guess what? We're not going to have any Game of Thrones that season, so we get Westworld. So I'm all cool with that. I can live with that. Even though Game of Thrones is untouchable in my eyes, right? I could live with the fact that we might get, we might get some Westworld to cover that little patch that we'll have, that little hole.
Another good recommendation from Game of Theory's Marie Hill is it's called Billions, and Damian Lewis and Paul Giamatti, and it's about hedge funds and Wall Street in New York. And it's basically that's my second favorite show after Game of Thrones. If you guys haven't checked it out,
I remember you told me to watch it. Billions, right?
Billions is excellent. And Damian Lewis plays this like after 9/11. I don't want to give it too much away. After 9/11, he seizes the stock market and he becomes this billionaire, and because a bunch of people died in the towers. And it's all about the DA, district attorney, and like he's going at like he gets tipped off that they might be doing inside shit, and there's like some shady shit going on. It's kind of like they're both trying to like outmaneuver each other the whole time. It's really sweet, man. It reminds me of the movie The Departed, if you've ever seen it, and it's really, really, really good.
I mean, The Departed was really good.
It's kind of like that, like the undercover shit. Like you get the multiple perspectives, like Game of Thrones. You get like the 5 or 6 different perspectives, and like you get 2 or 3 from each side, and it's like, oh, okay. Like you get to see how like the ups and downs of everyone, which is really awesome. It's really well done, man. I'm surprised it hasn't been. I don't know if it's been nominated for anything yet, but it's good.
I mean, I feel that that's one thing that I like about Westworld is like you get a lot of different perspectives from different types of people. You know what I mean? It makes you it makes you see things from different point of view. So anything like that, I'm gonna check it out. Maybe after Game of Thrones, because there's a couple of things coming out that I really want to see. Like for example, Defenders on Netflix. I want to see that. I'm really excited for that. But I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on everything. You know what I mean? Like I'm like
it's really hard to get into anything else with Thrones around, right? I mean, it's like. Now that you've had a taste of something so good, how it's kind of hard to appreciate other things. Not that you can't. Like I'll still go watch Guardians of the Galaxy in the movie theater, but I'm still thinking about Thrones. I'm like, man, I want an episode of Thrones right now.
I mean, I honestly was looking at like we were talking about a couple of weeks, The Last Kingdom.
Another donation raise. Sorry to stop you, buddy, but we got one from Mr. Skillen.
Oh. Like my chat is kind of bugging out, my internet on my other computer. Thanks.
Want me to read it out for you?
Yeah.
It's Mr. Skillen, 805. His name is John. He's actually a subscriber from my channel, super cool guy, and he says it's a US $7 donation, and he says 7 blessings to you, my lord.
Thank you so much, bro. I mean, thank you so much. I believe he's also been on my channel for a while. He's been a sub of mine. And
yeah, he's super cool guy, man.
Yeah, man.
He trolls me all the time for fun, but he's a good guy.
7 blessings to you too, brother. Thank you so much for the support. And like again, man, I mean, I just want to give you guys so much Game of Thrones content. Like I want to just do so much Thrones stuff, especially now that I'm going to have the time. That I legit like when you guys give me, I want to just give back like so much more. Like I don't know about like I just want to like do so many videos right now. Like
Well, the thing too is like for like me and you, we're like, I don't want to say smaller channels, but we're smaller channels, right, compared to some of the big dogs that are out there, and like it's perfect for us because during the off season, I think it is difficult to continually do videos every day to continue to keep people intrigued. You don't still want to be throwing stuff out every day if it's not going to stick. You know what I mean? And I think that during the season, there's going to be so much to talk about that there will just be such a load of information for us to just cover. It's going to be awesome, man. We'll probably leave some stuff on the table. We won't even be able to get to it all. That's the cool thing about it.
I mean,
and that's what I'm excited about because we're going to have so much to do.
I mean, one thing that I like about Game of Thrones, and a lot of people I think don't give Game of Thrones the show credit for, is that one thing could mean so many different things, and they could, like for example, you look at Arya. All right, let's say for example, you don't believe in the whole Arya is dead thing, right? But
that whole narrative ruins Arya's story arc. So I'm not down for that.
But I mean, all right, it does ruin in your mind Arya's story arc, right? But is it not possible, based off of what you saw on the TV show? Is it not possible?
It's definitely possible. I mean, you and George need to do a live stream about this one because he was convincing people down at fucking Con of Thrones about, pardon my language, people at Con of Thrones about this, and he was triggering me the whole time. He brought it up every day too. And you know, he brought it up with Smokescreen's guest or Smokescreen's co-host, Dust on the Throne. His name is James, super cool guy. Shout out to him. And they were triggering me. I'm like, get out of here, man. But James took my side, and then I finally got George off the idea that Arya is not the way.
I mean, but it's something that it's like so rich, and it could go either way. That someone could actually like. I feel like people who watch the show shouldn't like. If you're a show watcher, the whole Ashara thing should be dead. If you give the show credibility, the whole Ashara Ned thing should be dead already. You know what I mean? We saw Lyanna, we saw the baby. They went to Jon Snow. They threw an infographic saying Rhaegar and Lyanna are his parents. It's a wrap. Jon Snow is Rhaegar and Lyanna's son. But people still feel like, you know what I mean?
If anybody else thinks it's Ned and Ashara, I want to slap them, Race, please. You know when like on in the movie Step Brothers, when he's on the merry-go-round and he's punching people in a circle, that's what I want to do, but slapping people with that Ned and Ashara theory.
I mean, I think that it's pretty much done, right? But in the books, there's so much things there's a few things that back it up enough that you're like, hey, you could question it, you know what I mean? But once it's confirmed on the show, I think it's done. But I could see why people would get more, and that's why I like it, because Game of Thrones, unlike other shows, when the season is done, you could still get many, many things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Raze. Mama Hype is asking me a question. Yes, I'm still going out in about 20 minutes. You know what's funny too is when we do streams on my channel, when I was KFC, people will be like, "The mother hen has arrived."
Mother hen has arrived.
And they try to get her to talk, and she doesn't. She likes to kind of. She lives in the shadows. She's a faceless man.
Yeah, my mom too. My mom is like shadows. Thank God I have this. I have to have this because you know she likes to be blocked out from it all.
Can I ask you a question, Race?
Of course.
About episode 2, Stormborn. We talked about Daenerys. Like, I mean, Stormborn's obviously her name, but do you think it could be a little bit focused on maybe the Night King? He brings the storm, and like he's birthing another storm, or maybe Euron? I mean, that would be kind of cool if that would. I mean, because we know the episode, like, there's always a specific theme for each episode, right? There's like a little theme through each episode, like a little subplot. You think that could possibly be something that's going on in that episode, man? That's something that was like crossing my mind.
I mean, I totally think that it could be, like, they could make us think that they might be going with Daenerys, and then we might get a lot of Euron. And I think we are going to get a lot of Euron because if we move on to the third one, we haven't even gotten to the third one, we do see that it says Cersei is going to return a gift. And if we all assume correctly, because the episode is called the Queen's Justice. It says Daenerys holds court. I think that that's Jon Snow,
Mhm.
of course. It says Jaime learns from his mistakes, which is interesting to me. And then we have that basically Cersei returns a gift. What gift is Cersei returning? Like, I just think that like
the actual meaning for a gift actually means like to give advice. It could be give advice. It could actually mean that, but it can actually be negative as well. I was actually. It's just something that I'm a huge nerd. I like to look up etymology of the actual words and like where their influence came from. And I think it could be Cersei giving the gift of wildfire to one of the sand snakes. I think she's going to burn the sand snakes. So I think that. But we have to remember the Myrcella necklace. Yeah. I mean, would it have anything to do with that? Like returning the favor in a way, or like returning a gift, like returning the favor, because gift kind of means favor. In some of the etymology I was looking at last night. I don't know, man. And actually, in German, gift means poison, or in certain senses. So I don't know if that has any influence, but yeah.
I mean, sorry to cut you off. I think my computer just Mr. Skillen. Thanks again. I think it says $13.
It says $13 for the trolls.
For the trolls. So I guess that's for you guys, the trolls. Thanks again.
No, he's a troll. That's why.
Thanks again, man. That's awesome, man. Everybody show Mr. Skillen some love in the chat. Thanks again for the support. That's awesome, man.
You're up to like what? You're up to like at least $30 now. That's pretty sweet, dude.
Thanks, man. I mean, I like, to be honest, I'm never really big like Marie and like everybody, like, you know what I mean? I don't get used to it. Like every time I'm like, oh shit, like someone, like, you know what I mean? To me, it's such a. So thanks to everyone, you know, everything you guys give, it helps, and, you know, it helps push the channel, and it helps me better everything, you know what I mean, like videos and whatnot. How at this rate, I probably might freaking get to buy that Rode mic. Like I want to order like a mic for the camera, because those mics are really great. I probably might get to order that at this rate. So thanks again for the support.
Sweet, dude. Man, you gotta do more live streams, man. People are making it rain for you today, man.
I mean, I think it's because winter is here. You know what I mean? I think
during the season, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
What you call it? But we were talking about. You said the gift also means poison in some places. Now, to me, I found the gift part interesting, right? Because if you look back to the episode where Ramsay gets a hold of Rickon,
sure.
What you call it? When Ramsay gets a hold of Rickon, he basically says. If I recall correctly, it says Ramsay gets a gift. And that's interesting, right? But then we also hear the Faceless Men say gift as in, like, death. You know, they give the gift of death. So I always find that interesting. And then you bring up poison. Poison eventually leads to death. So do you think she's going to kill someone? Do you think that she is going to get someone killed? Like, what do you think? What do you bring about this gift that she's returning? Because it says returning, not that she's receiving.
The gift is also, George has a good point. The gift is the land that's given to the Night's Watch. That was given to the Night's Watch a long, long time ago. But yeah, I think that it's a negative thing. I think that she's going to give the gift of death to someone. I think that's what it's referring to. You're spot on. We hear about the gift from the Faceless Men, which is interesting because some people think that Cersei's going to get the gift from the Faceless Men because of the Iron Bank. But, you know, I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be Illyria Sand. I actually think that, you know, Rickard was killed and Brandon strangled himself.
Yeah.
I think that that's actually going to happen with Illyria and Tyene.
That would be
the same
insane.
thing. Yeah, I actually think that same thing is actually going to happen in the show. I think that's when Jaime he'll come back from Highgarden or wherever he's doing after his battle with Daenerys, and then he's going to realize that Cersei is like, you know what I mean?
Full on Mad King.
Yeah, like he'll realize that her using the wildfire, and then I think that Gray Area came up with this point that the Dornish that Cersei was going to blame it on the Dornish, the whole Septa Baelor thing, which makes sense. So I don't know, man. I mean, because of what happened with Oberyn and some other things. So I mean, it could be possible that Jaime puts two and two together, and Cersei lies to Jaime about what happened at Septa Baelor. Like, I mean, do you think he would be okay with that happening after what he did to the Mad King? I don't think so. So I think that
I 100% believe that Jamie will kill Cersei. Like he has to be the one. Like I've heard the Euron theories. They sound sweet. They sound nice, but it has to be freaking Jamie Lannister. Like it has to be him. Because the redeeming arc that he's on in the books at least, he turned her down. He burned the letter that she sent, and he's like, all right, he's over that. But in the show, it's kind of weird. They kind of let him like in like this loop with her and whatnot. So that's interesting. But I just thought that when it says she returns the gift, I thought that it was Yara. I thought that she's giving Yara and she just gives her back to Euron or something. You know what I mean? Because she probably has no use for it because Yara did nothing to her. You know what I mean? She's just maybe with Daenerys and maybe Euron gives them all to her or something. And I think that she returns Yara to Euron or something. That's what I thought.
Pilu Asbeck, who plays Euron Greyjoy, he's been going. I mean, he's been part of the press lately, and he's let the beans spill a few times, saying that Euron is going to do some of the stuff in the Forsaken chapter. He said he's going to, do some really nasty stuff. For anybody that hasn't checked out that chapter, it's.
You think he's going to tie his niece up to the?
I think he's going to cut out her tongue. Oh. I think he's going to do. I think that she's going to give him lip. You know what I mean? Like she has, because she's a very outspoken person. I think we can all agree that Yara, that's part of the best quality of her. She's very, she has to do that to survive in this very masculine culture of the Ironborn, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, we see she's a very unique person in that culture. I mean, for her to have respect, she has to speak up. Otherwise, she would just be, nothing.
I mean, you said that, and it just made me hurt. Like it hurt my tongue. I thought about my tongue being ripped off right away. I mean.
Because how do they make? Because here's the thing, me and George were talking about this. How do you achieve if he's going to be worse than Ramsay? How do you achieve that? Like, I mean, he's going to survive season 7? Okay, he's got to survive season 7 to make it to season 8. He's got to create problems for them while they're fighting the White Walkers. That's going to be a big thing. But what does he do? I mean, Ramsay and Joffrey were pretty awful, but Ramsay was real bad. So I mean, he's got to do some of the stuff that's in the Forsaken chapter.
Ramsay is, without a doubt, top 5 villain in anything I've ever seen. And like, could you think of 5 better villains in anything that are worse, like as a worse person than Ramsay? I don't think. So that to me is interesting within its own. You know what I mean? I mean, I personally think that
we got another donation raise. We have a $5 donation from Peach.
Thank you, Peach. Glad you enjoyed the streams. Anything you give is a blessing. Thank you so much. I love all you guys. Like, again, anything you could give helps the channel. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how much you give, even if you don't give. You know what I mean? I'm happy with it all. I'm just glad you guys are here and that you guys actually enjoy the live streams. Because I know me and Kyle have talked about this. Like, the joy that we actually get out of making content, just like straight up joy. Like, it is legit joy. It's something like you have to do to actually like understand it. I get so happy from seeing people enjoy something that I make, and I know you likewise. That it's undescribable. So thank you again. It doesn't matter the amount, anything that you give, it helps the channel. And thank you so much again, Peach.
Yeah, I want to say this too, and there's people that have said like, hey, I want to give more later, or I can only give this much now. Never ever be sorry for helping someone out. I mean, geez. I mean, obviously, me and Reyes both want to be very successful at what we're doing. We both feel that we can create brands and channels that are successful and want to make into businesses and be super successful just like anyone in life. But, hey, anything at all, $2, $1, whatever, we'll take it.
I mean,
trust me, it's not easy making money on videos.
I mean, and it's specifically how YouTube now has been, like, very, like, you know what I mean? Like, if we, like, for example, use any song from Game of Thrones, that video is like demonetized immediately. We don't get anything from a video, and those are things that like smaller channels don't talk about. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, I guess, taboo or whatever. But anything you give to us, it helps us. You know what I mean? And again, thank you so much. I'm not even joking. Like, even $1, I'll be like, thank you so much. Thanks again, Mr. Skillen. Thanks again. Wow, like that's freaking crazy. Thanks
Mr. Skillen actually lives out in Dorne. He was sending me pictures of where he's at. It's 103 degrees where he's at today. If I was down there, I'd be a melted Canadian. Let's just say that. Me coming from the lands of always winter, my White Walker blood would melt. And that's what happened to me in Tennessee. That's part of the reason why I'm still so tired. I'm trying to get normalized back to my actual climate.
What you call it? He said, "Get some beer and have a bitchin' day." I will. Thank you again, Mr. Skillen.
You said 50 there, Rays. That's pretty sweet, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
$50 US is like $1,000 Canadian. So for you, it's 50. But
I mean, I never that concept of Canadian money never really wrapped around my head like until I was older. I was like, why is it so much? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why?
My mom just said, "Is it that bad now?" She's laughing in the background. He's trolling me.
But let's go back to episode 3 because I know you almost got to head out, right?
Yeah, I got another 10 minutes.
All right, so we see the episode's called Queen's Justice. We talked about Cersei returning the gift. What do you think about Jaime's lesson? What do you think about Jaime learning this lesson and Daenerys holds court? What do you think about those two?
I think the lesson he's going to learn is that Cersei's going to have to move over for Daenerys. I think the Field of Fire is going to happen that episode specifically, and I think that Jaime's going to learn that that they're in big shit. The Lannister army is going to get decimated. It's bad.
I mean,
so they're Highgarden is going to get taken one episode before that. Then it'll be the Field of Fire, and then he'll realize that that what he's doing is completely not futile, but it's pretty much there's like 0.1% chance of winning against her army and her dragons. And that I think at that point they might have lost Casterly Rock already. So he will have to go to Cersei and be like, "Listen, I need to reason with you." But he won't be back in King's Landing. But his own lesson, he'll have learned that Cersei had sent him on not a fool's errand, but I think he's going to learn that I think their stay in power in King's Landing is pretty much over.
I mean, I think that Jaime will come to that realization quicker than, like, let's say, for example, Daenerys. I mean, than a Cersei, I mean. But it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between Euron, Cersei, and Jaime to me. Because I did a video once, and I highlighted in that video, I put the clips in it, when Jaime is talking with Jory. Was it Jory?
Yep.
Yeah. He was talking with Jory about basically the Greyjoys. And he really dislikes the Greyjoys. Jaime really does not like the Greyjoys. So it's going to be interesting him having to work with someone who he dislikes. Like, he had to work with the Boltons. He had to work with the Freys. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that Euron will be the final straw because we don't have very much information on Euron, but we know that Jaime is connected to King's Landing, and some people are like, "Well, we didn't get any information on Euron in the show," but that doesn't mean that Jaime would not have known the history of Euron. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So it's like, I think that, and in the shot that we see in the trailer that's very brief, Euron looks pretty crazy when he's holding his axe.
Oh my
Who's
God.
to say that's not reflected in his personality doing other things? I think that if it's any indication, if he's absorbing some of these qualities from the books, which I'm sure they will try to include in the show, not all of them, but I think that, yeah.
My interest was very much piqued in the fact that we barely got any Euron. Like, the fact that we haven't seen him, that means to me that everything we see Euron is going to be very intense and high, very tense, you know what I mean? Let's talk about Daenerys holding court. What did you think about Daenerys holding court?
Yeah, I mean, this scene is going to mirror very much of what's happening with Jon. I mean, Ice and Fire. We see what's happening with Jon at the Battle of the Bastards and what's happening with Daenerys at the Misa moment. I think there's going to be more of those moments that are paralleled. Like Jon's going to hold his court, episode 1. Daenerys will hold hers in episode 3. Maybe Jon will be there by then. Maybe they're holding the court and then Jon gets there like directly after, because they're going to have to discuss who's going to bend the knee, all of this sort of stuff, blah, 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 right?
But now that you bring that up, what do you think about Jon? Do you think Jon will bend the knee?
I think he will say he will say that he will not bend the knee, but he will say he would vouch for Daenerys to become queen if she will lend her support in the fight for the War for the Dawn. I don't think he'll ever, and I think that's going to be the moment, that the instant chemistry that's going to happen between Jon and Daenerys, even though that's his aunt. I think that.
He's like, you're like, I have to highlight this.
Well, I mean, what is Daenerys respected so far? What has she been attracted to about the men so far that she's been with? They all march to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah,
they're all very confident men. Dario, Khal Drogo, and Jon. And Jon now is transformed into this more Azor Ahai-like figure that we're going to see over the next 2 seasons. So I think that, looking at that, I think, yeah.
I thought that, I agree with you in the sense that I think that once she gives Jon what Jon wants, he'll be like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll bend the knee. Like, only just if, like, you know what I mean? Like, you support.
Maybe privately. I don't know if he'll do it in front of everyone. Oh, shit. We got 2 more donations, Race.
For real? Oh, shit.
For HBO, George says, for HBO accounts, lol, Jamie's lesson is about Cersei dropping him in that dragons kick ass.
Thanks, George. Damn, that means a lot, bro. Thanks again. I know that George, George is a boss, man. I've seen him on some of your. He has some awesome theories, and like you said, I would like to probably do a video with George on Arya, like, you know what I mean? Because I feel
you guys have the same friggin' sentiment.
I feel that should be played more on. I feel that I feel that hasn't been given enough credit to. You know what I mean? That could add to the whole bittersweet thing in there. You know what I mean? And there's another one. To start you for Con next year.
Jim O'Donnell. Nice.
Jim O'Donnell. Thanks again. Hey, I'm going to Thrones next year. Thanks.
Oh, dude, you're for sure coming. You're gonna stay at the house we're gonna rent. We're all going together.
Sure,
Gemma, me, you. Oh, it's gonna be nuts, man.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine. Like,
we'll try to get a panel together or something. Actually, me and George got invited back, so we're really excited to do that. Most
definitely. I mean, that would be insane if we all like went. And then we just had like a reality show. We had like the.
Oh man, there's something. Rich is saying Q&A raise. You gonna go to NYC? Me and George are trying to find tickets to New York Comic Con. They're all sold out, man. We are trying so hard to get down there to go see Lena Headey. Well, I don't know. It's up to George. George has the connections, man. I don't. So, we'll see. Raise. I don't know. They're all sold out, aren't they?
I mean, I'm not sure if they're sold out, but they sell out quickly. Like. I know
Saturday are done.
I know I tried last season with Don Willie. We were trying to get, and we were both like waiting, and that shit just. So that was insane. Like, you know what I mean? That's something mad hard to get tickets. I know that it's the 21st in San Diego, right? I think it's the 21st. Isn't that like when it starts in San Diego, the 21st? Let me see.
21st in San Diego, and then New York Comic Con's the 12th in October, I think, right?
Oh man, that would have been perfect too. Like right around my birthday, Kyle and George.
We're still gonna try to do it, man. There might be people that'll sell tickets and stuff closer, but obviously we need to plan it in advance.
Bro,
right?
I legit live so close to where they do that. Like, I don't care if I don't go, but if you come to New York, we're gonna do some. Oh my god, some crazy vlogs. You have to try to come. Like, I'm cool with not going to con. Huh?
George is working on the Saturday tickets because that's when Lena Headey is there. Me and George want to be the con people. We want to bring the cons to the fans, man. We want to do this.
I definitely back that. I could definitely back that.
Fuck.
I mean, thanks again for the donations, all the love and the support. It really helps, and it means the world to me. So thank you again. Like I said, I gotta make a video with George and his points on the Arya thing, because we have to shut down Kyle before the season starts. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, San Diego we can't do because there's no way I can do the San Diego. It's funny, someone mentioned that I should start a GoFundMe for San Diego for next year already. I'm like, you guys are crazy, man.
San Diego, you know what I mean? Like, I could imagine that Tennessee was wonderful, you know what I mean? But San Diego, I would imagine San Diego must be extremely expensive to go to that. Like,
I don't even know, man. It's on the other side of the world for me.
I mean, it is. It's far for me. Like, I'm already in New York.
I'd probably bus it. I'd probably do 3 days travel of busing just to save money.
I can't be in a vehicle with wheels for more than 4 hours.
But me and George are trying to come to New York October, man. We are trying, man. Like we're set on that shit, man. Con of Thrones descended, but we're trying on that shit. I have to take up in 5 minutes, Reyes. Do you want to do a couple questions from the chat, or do we want to? Actually, we should probably finish talking about the Queen's Justice because there's a couple other points, right?
I mean, we could talk about the Queen's Justice, or we could take some questions. Let's just take some questions, so that everyone could, get their thoughts and opinions in. I want to hear from everyone in the chat. So let's just get some questions from the chat. Do you see any questions or anything?
What's a con? A convention. Convention, Phil. I'm not sure if that was a troll question or not, but I'll answer it.
He's like, I'll answer. So send your questions in, guys, because college almost out, and I let me see.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Ready to be old. 31 years old,
I
man.
mean, 31 years young, bro.
I don't feel 31 at all.
I know, that's the thing. No, you know when you do feel old, and everybody who's at a certain age, you could probably vouch for this, but I feel like every time I'm like right now I'm 28, right? I feel that every time that I'm thinking to myself like I feel like I'm 21, like I still feel like I'm 21, right? And then I talk to a 21-year-old, and then I'm like, no, I'm my age. Like I am 28. Like I have family members that are like at that age, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm definitely 28. Like, so I would imagine maybe you're at the same point. I don't know. Like when you talk,
same thing. We got a question here, Rays. What episode do you think Littlefinger meets his end?
ooh,
6 or 7, right? It's gotta be the end of the season.
how many episodes is 7 episodes this season?
7,
I think
yeah.
6.
I'll go one earlier than that. I'll say 5.
I think that he has to. I think that when he bites the dust, it has to be like. It has to give like a certain wiggle room, like you know what I mean. Like it has to give. Yeah, I think 5 is good. 5 is a good bet, but I think 6 because always the big things happen in episode 6.
Yeah, penultimate episodes. Yeah,
You know what I mean. So, but again, the White Walker thing could be in episode 6, so 5 would be a good bet.
Question from Mr. Skillen: will Jon Snow die again? I don't want to. You know.
I mean, I don't think he'll die. I personally.
I say
but you
no.
sound like you sounded like you know something, so I gotta be careful here.
No, I'm not even gonna get into it. I think I don't agree with what I've heard, so no. I'm gonna say no.
He's like, no.
It doesn't make sense. I think Daenerys is gonna die in season 8. I don't think Jon dies again.
I mean,
It doesn't make sense to me.
I personally think that Jon Snow dying again wouldn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know
If
how
he dies in the last episode or something of the series, then okay. I don't think he dies again ever with the series. I think he's going to be King of Westeros.
He's like the guy. You know what I mean? I could see him dying, maybe like you said last episode, but I definitely don't see a scenario where he dies because we know Littlefinger's going to die. We know that certain characters now are going to die, like Tormund, these secondary characters. But for you to kill, I know Cersei's going to die. I think Jaime's going to die. But like then when you start getting to like the remaining Starks, you're like, ugh. I think Bran might die because I think he's evil.
Cripples, bastards, and broken things, man. Like Theon, Brienne, Tyrion, Jon, Samwell, all the characters that have like are kind of the embodiment of George, like in a sense, like because George, I'm sure like he was nerds were all
I mean,
I got bullied for certain. I'm not bullied, but for certain views and certain things that I like. People will tease you for. These types of people have experienced more hardship than other people, so I think that's why they'll probably survive.
I mean, you made a point once, like I think it was like 3 weeks ago. You made a point that you sold me on something so hard that I have not been able to get it on my head. I think that Jon Snow. I think it was you. I think you said that Jon Snow would kill Bran. Was that you? I think you said.
I mean, in the battle with the Night King.
Yeah, like at the final battle that he would have to.
Sorry, go ahead, Reyes.
If I recall, you had told me something like that. Wasn't it you?
Well, I think that Bran's going to have to work the Night King's mind, in that Jon's going to have to deal the final killing blow, but Bran will be stuck in like the ether. You know what I mean?
I remember you told me something.
And in the final episode of the series, he will like be viewing things from the other side, like the Weirwood net, and he'll be like we will think that he's dead, but he's not. You know what I mean?
I mean, when you told me
technically
that,
he is.
When you told me that, I was like, "Oh man!"
Because I think it's all going to happen near the Isle of the Faces.
The Isle of Faces. I mean, that would be a nice place for it to go down. I remember. I think I saw one of your streams once, also with what's his name? I forgot his channel. Game of Theories, I think it was.
Yes, next. Oh my God, he's incredible.
I remember seeing this one theory that he was like putting together like Bran being the Night King and all that. He made a good case for it. Like, you know what I mean? I honestly think that it seems like it could be very much possible. I've avoided spoilers, but I did see some spoilerish stuff on his video because I went and I checked it out and it was really dope. I don't know, man. Bran, like with Melisandre, the whole servant of the great other and whatnot in the books, her seeing him like that. I think that Melisandre could be wrong, but she's never really like fully completely wrong. So there's something there. I think there's something to it. You know what I mean? I think Bran might not know he's on the wrong side, but I think he is serving the wrong side.
Well, I mean, he's going to pass. Things have to happen for. It's like the thing about this is that the White Walkers, they are this force of nature in death, but at the same time, they are. Here, 1 second. I gotta hit the door. Come on in, Randy. Shit. Sorry, guys. Someone was at the door. So here's the thing. What was I talking about again, Race? My bad.
We were talking about the Night King and Bran.
Okay, so like they're this force of nature, but they inspire this political change, I guess, like democracy in the end. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that in a way it will be sad because the White Walkers didn't have, or the Night King didn't have a choice to be created into what he was created into. But in the end, it forced everyone to get together to fight this battle. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that. I mean, that's kind of a thing.
I definitely think that there's going to be something huge this season. Like, I've been really scared about the fact that we haven't seen any visions of the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I think we're going to see the tournament at Harrenhal. Do you think we see that?
I would hope we would, but I don't think we will. You know what I mean? I hope we would, but I don't think we will. I think that pretty much everything that has gone down. I mean, I think that for you to film something like that and for it not to leak would be insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what though? I mean, maybe that's the hold the door moment of the season. You know what I mean?
That would be dope though. I want to see Rhaegar and Lyanna. I want to see what happened there. I want to completely see it through. You know what I mean? I think.
Let me give my final prediction here. Raise off that then. I think we're going to see Rhaegar and Lyanna married at the Isle of the Faces after the Night of the Laughing Tree shit in season 7.
That would be dope. I would love to see that. I hope that we do see that. You know what I mean? Because again, I think that for us to get all this, like, we would hear from other people about Rhaegar. We would see and hear things from like how people viewed him, and for us not to get to see the actual person, to me that would be really sucky. I would prefer if we were able to see him. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It would be interesting.
For the books, it makes sense to not see him because of the way visually foreshadowing is so different in books, man. Because you got red herrings, you can make people believe that there's multiple paths to take when there's only really one when someone's tricking you. But in the show, you have to be visual and you have to captivate the audience. And leaving Rhaegar out, I mean, even just to have him for a minute, wouldn't it be like, wow, like Barristan was right. Rhaegar looked like a really nice guy. That would change our whole perspective on these series of events because we heard negative things about them before, or about Rhaegar before, but we learned that I'm not saying Rhaegar is a saint, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Our perspective of him, what we've learned more and more and more, sounds like he was a pretty good dude. Like he wanted to change things from, like his father was mad, and he wanted to have a council to change things and all this sort of stuff. So I think it's important that we see him personally.
I hope we do. One thing I don't want is that actor who leaked it, possibly to be the person, like who hinted. I just don't want him because that was very douchebaggy of him. I think. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Devin Oliver, yeah, he's in like a prog metal band. It's like I
don't know. To me, that was the only thing that kind of threw me off a bit. It kind of upset me, but I do hope we do see him though, and I have hopes we will. Because last season we had thought that we possibly might see Lyanna, but until we actually saw Lyanna, we didn't know 100% we were going to see her. It wasn't like and we knew I knew a bunch of spoilers last season. But
yeah,
it was never like a 100% thing that we were going to see Lyanna. And I know people have told me that you could film the tourney at Harrenhal inside, but I was like, nah, that doesn't seem practical. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like it's a really hard thing to hide, but I think we're seeing it, man. I mean, Bran's gonna have a huge part this season. We saw the Professor Xavier chair and all of that, but I think it's gonna be great. I actually have to take off, Ray. Thank you so much for having me, man. Really,
Thanks for joining me.
you know how much I love coming on the channel and chatting Thrones with you, man. Anytime I'm available, I'll try to come on. Obviously, we'll have you on the channel during the season. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for coming on again. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure having you. I probably might stick around a bit longer on here. But everybody, if you don't, which I doubt, because everybody knows who Azora Hype is, Kyle. If you don't, check his channel out. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. You should definitely check his channel out. He has awesome videos. And plus, he has those, those little tidbits and nuggets, like he likes to call them, coming out soon. So I'm definitely going to stay tuned for that. Thanks again. And thanks for being here, man.
Varadolhairis, everyone. And you guys all have a lovely evening. And yeah, we'll chat soon, man. Have a good one. And everybody in the chat, guys, there's 46 people watching. We got 45 likes, but I know we can get some more. Oh, 2 more donations. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for having me again, Ray. You guys have a good night.
All right, man. Peace.
Bye.
So I guess I'm by myself, guys. It's always awesome having Kyle on, but now I am here by myself. So bear with me with the chat because I have like a whole different chat. I have another computer here set. So let me see. I have a question. Thanks again, Mr. Skillen, for the donation. Damn, man, you got wild. Everybody, show Mr. Skillen some love for showing the channel so much love. He has a question. What has Varys stolen during the show that we didn't see? Varys was supposedly a master thief, and that brought him up. What did he steal? I mean, for the most part, that is a good question. We know that he was a thief, and for all we ever put into mind is his little birds and the information, like what he gets, like the information that he gets from everybody. I mean, one thing that I would be interested in seeing is if they have Blackfire, because if you believe the whole Blackfire thing in the books, if Ilario has, if let's say for example Aegon is really Fagon, and he's not Aegon Targaryen, and they do have Blackfire, to me that would be like, he didn't steal it, but to me that would be like the #1 thing that I would be like super excited to see, because just like the way that the artists who draw Blackfire draw it, it would make me like crazy excited to see that sword. I mean, I know a lot of people think that Dark Sister is with Mira, but Blackfire would be dope if it was in Varys' possession. That would be really interesting to me. Let me see what else. What else could Varys have stolen? I don't know. I don't know if he maybe has stolen anything, because I don't know if there's anything to steal in King's Landing, like, you know what I mean, of value. Like, I think that he could acquire something, you know what I mean, like he could get in possession of something, but I don't know if he stole anything. But that is a good question though. Shit, that might even be like video worthy, like, of a question. So shout out to Mr. Skillet. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Carrie Zen 8. Thank you again, Carrie. Oh my god, like I legit am like shocked. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you, Carrie. It helps the channel, and I know you were the first earlier on my video. I saw that comment. Thanks again for watching the videos, and you know I know you're always there watching. So thank you again for all the support. Let's see. Let's see, any questions? Let's see. Skillen says the dagger Littlefinger has. What about it though? You be a little bit more specific. That way I can know exactly what it's about. Let's see. What exactly is the revolt against Jon gonna entail? Details. I mean, I personally think that the revolt against Jon, I think is going to come from the. If you guys recall last season, the Umbers and the Karstarks were with the Boltons. So I definitely believe that that's where he's going to come from. I think that Jon is going to have to resolve that. I think that he has some loose strings in the north, and I think they're definitely going to have to solve that. but I don't think that it's necessarily going to be like a revolt like these. Like let's say for example the Glovers or the Manderleys are going to go up against them. I think it's just going to be the Karstarks and the Umbers that are going to revolt against them. We know that in the books, Alice Karstark seeks Jon's help with a certain situation that she's in. I'm not going to go into that, but maybe that might play out in the story, and I could definitely see that happening. Let's see. What happens when Bran tries to warg into Undead Summer and Undead Hodor? Oh my god, like, I don't think that he would warg into them because I think he's going to know that they're dead. I mean, when you're dead, you're dead. And we heard that Jon says there's nothing, it's just black. So what I think the Night King does, he reanimates bodies. He doesn't revive them because they have no like self-consciousness. So what I think is that I don't think he would warg into Hodor or Summer. But damn, if we see like a dead Summer or a dead Hodor, that is going to suck. It is going to be so bad. You know what I mean? I hope that we don't see it because I really get mad every time I see the episode The Door because of I feel that kind of Bran was at fault for what happened to Hodor, and Hodor was just like this innocent character to me that really had nothing to do with like the circumstances or the cards that he was dealt. So you know what I mean? I hope that hopefully we don't see that, but it would make for interesting TV, you know what I mean? If we see him, and I do, realistically speaking, I do think we will see an undead Hodor or Summer, but I think we'll see it just so that the Night King can antagonize Bran, but I don't think that I want to see it, if that makes any sense. Let's see. I saw that video. I see the one true David Adams is talking to someone, I don't know who, but he says but Ray and Don Willie are homies. I'm mad cool with Don Willie. I don't know what's happening in the chat, but Don Willie's my boy. I don't know what's happening, but that's my boy right there. I don't know if you guys want to tell me what's happening. It's all love on this side. I don't have beef with anybody, and I mean legit nobody. We don't do that on this channel. We don't beef with no one. Let's see. I do agree with shout out to Gloria Brown who just joined us. Thanks for joining us. Much love. Let's see. I do agree with Big E. I would love to see Bran and the Ravens like helping Jon in that scene that we see the White Walkers going after Jon Snow. That would be interesting to see how many Ravens you need to stop all those Whites. But I would love to see that. That would be awesome television to me. Let's see. How Jon know it's just black if he's dead? I mean, I would imagine that it's like when you sleep. You know what I mean? You sleep, you wake up the next day, you don't see anything. It's like, you know what I mean? That's how I imagine it is. He says there was nothing at all, right? So that's how I imagine. You go to sleep, you don't dream, and that's how I would imagine that whole there's nothing on the other side works. I mean, hey, we got to believe him. He died. I didn't. You know what I mean? Let's see. Game of Thrones with Marie. Game of Theories with Marie. What visions will Bran have this season? Again, the tourney at Harrenhal, I hope we see it because it's so crucial to everything that happened in the story. It basically starts off the romance between Lyanna and Rhaegar, if it was even a romance, because we just assumed that it was a romance and he didn't rape her. But that's where everything started, and I hope we do see it because we have so many other characters. It would be dope to see like an older Brandon and a young Robert. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Mad King, more of him. I would love to see, I don't know, young Barristan Selmy. Like, you know what I mean? Like all these characters, they would have to cast. That's why it's just so hard for me. So I do think we probably might see like them getting married. Like, you know, it's just two characters filming in front of a tree. Let me see. I think we could see Rhaegar getting married with Lyanna. I think that we could see maybe Rhaegar saying goodbye to Lyanna. I could definitely see that happening. I just think that it'll be smaller scenes and not bigger things. Like, one scene that I wanted to see, Marie, was like, let's say, for example, the battle of Rhaegar and Rhaegar and Robert Baratheon at the Trident, and I wanted to see Rhaegar get the hammer to the chest. Like, I wanted to see that because the way that they make it seem, it was like it was this epic thing, and I want to see epicness. I want to see dope stuff like that. So I would really like to see that. Yeah, Cardinal, I definitely agree. Not a zombie hoarder. I really don't want to see that. Man, Mr. Skillen, man, thanks, man. Don't trust Varys, man. I mean, I don't trust Varys. I think that Varys has his own agenda. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? I think that Varys, honestly, has his own agenda, but I think that in the show they just cut it off because they didn't want to like deal with that, especially because they cut it down to 6 and 7 episodes each season. So I definitely think that Varys is untrustworthy still. I just think that they won't, you know, do anything of that on the show. To be honest, let's see. Let's see. All right, David. Thanks for clearing that up. I legit, like, I'm not even joking. With me, my YouTube channel is crazy. I work, like, earlier today I was working. I did a video. I went to work. I kind of, like, negotiated with my boss. I was like, yo, look, I got to do a live stream later. I was like, I could help you, and then I got to head out. And actually, my boss agreed. So I was like, yo, that's most def. Thank you again. And I can't miss the Saturday before winter arriving. I can't miss that. I have to come. So without a doubt, you know what I mean? Like, I had to be here. And again, thanks for everyone for joining. Let's see. Let's see. What will happen to Varys this season? Not much talk about him at all. I personally believe that Varys will die. I just think he probably might die. Like, I think that his death and, like, Cersei. Like, once anybody who opposes Daenerys or whoever he's supporting dies, I think that there's not much purpose for him, because it's like, I honestly, the way I believe it's going to go down, I think that it's going to be the White Walkers, and then I think it's going to be who sits the throne or who's going to govern, and then I think that that's where Varys might come in. He might have his own agenda. I know many believe he might be a Blackfire, but they didn't really present that on the show, so I think that that might be a bust. He might not be a Blackfire. I do think that he very much possibly might, I think that he very much might, you know, bite the dust out. I think that Varys, I don't know, I think that Varys might actually, I don't know, I think he will survive this season. I think he dies in season 8. To keep it quick and nice. Let's see. That is a great question. This comes from Bob O'Connor. Does Sam still have the Horn of Joramun? Now, we don't know if that is the Horn of Joramun, because the Horn of Joramun is described as this humongous horn with the ruins of the First Men, right? Does he have it? I think he might. You know what I mean? But then again, he had it when he was beyond the wall, and then we know that he gave Jon the dragon glass, and the horn was with the dragon glass, and the horn was left at the wall. Last time I checked on the show. So that being said, I think that he still does have it, because I don't know why they would send that beyond the wall, because they don't know what that shit is for. But if the Night King were to have that horn, it would be a wrap. And I don't even think he needs the horn to knock it down. I think that he could just knock that joint down quick. Will Arya go west of Westeros, or is that a throwaway line? I think that they put that line in to kind of open the mentality of people, like open people's minds to the fact that that Game of Thrones is more than just Westeros and Essos. You know what I mean? I think that they might actually do a spin-off west of Westeros, but I don't think they'll have any of the main characters. But it would be interesting. She did bring it up, so it would be because I always have had the thought that Arya will die by the end of the series, because I think that she doesn't fit into what I think the show is going to be or how it's going to end. So I definitely see her possibly dying. You know what I mean? Hopefully she doesn't, but then again, you know what I mean? It's Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? I think they give us traumas so that we think a certain way. Let me see. But do I think it was a throwaway line? No, I think it's there for a reason. Do I think she'll get there? I don't know. I'm not gonna. It would be cool though. It would be interesting. Let me see. Mr. Skillen says Varys will die and Meme will replace him over Joffrey. A meme? Wait, and Mimi will replace him as Joffrey. Much love, man. Have a great day. Thanks, Mr. Skillen. Again, you don't have to donate. Like, if you want, you just gotta raise the Alba, and I'll see it. But again, thanks for the donations. You know what I mean? That's insane. Like, this is, I think, my most donated day. And thanks, Mr. Skillen, again. I don't know. It would be interesting. One of my favorite videos that I saw was King McKay. He did like Varys is a merman video, and I think he did it as a parody. But like Varys is one of those characters. It's like you just can't put a finger like on what's gonna happen, because if you recall, he did say that he has no son to Ned. He was talking about like he has no son. I think it was to Ned. That he has no son that could fight for him. He has no name, no nothing. So Varys, you could never really put a finger on what is up with Varys. So you know what I mean? He's always been an interesting character to me. Let's see. Peach says, I think Bran already knows Jaime pushed him. Falling was in one of his visions. I do think that he might know, but I mean, at this point, what could they do? You know what I mean? I don't think that even Jon, if Jon knew that he pushed him out of the window, I don't think Jon would do anything to Jaime. Because they need everybody. And Jon realizes that, the war is coming and it's gotta... it's I think that Jon knows that he needs everybody alive. Every man counts. Let's see. No, I agree with that, David. Mr. Skillen is the MVP. You're the real MVP, bro. Thanks again. Like, I'm definitely getting that mic. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely agree, Marie. I do think that they have lightened his character a bit. I think he is a bit different. And there's a couple of characters like that I think that they're very different from the show. And I feel that Tyrion for me is one character that I feel that him in particular, he comes across as a bit more arrogant in the books. I'm not sure if that's just me. That's a good one. I like this one. Oh, this is good. The boy won the. All right, he says, who's gonna off Varys though? I mean, it would have been interesting to see like Varys, Qyburn, or Varys, Littlefinger. That would have been dope to me. You know what I mean? I think Cersei. If someone were to off Varys, it would be Cersei. Cersei, or maybe like a dragon, like, or someone who could like pick up on lies or treachery, like Arya. You know what I mean? Like, if Arya were, but I don't know if Varys has done really anything to Arya or to the Stark specifically that can't be forgiven. So, but I think it definitely has to be like one of those things, like a dragon, or I don't know. Like with Varys is one of those characters that the whole we never heard exactly what was up with the whole Flames thing, right? So since we don't know exactly what happened there and what the Flames said, to me his whole story arc, we need to know what happened there and why they selected him for that dark magic, because we know that there's power in King's blood, and for some reason, why would you just rip somebody's penis off and throw that in the flame if they don't have King's blood in this story? Which is interesting. I have something funny I'm planning, and I'm planning it with a bunch of people who don't watch Game of Thrones. I'm going to give them I'm gonna see if I have it done this week before the next live stream. I wanted to do like a would you rather. You see the weird would you rathers I've done on my channel. I want to do that, but I want to do that with people who don't watch Game of Thrones. So like I'm going to ask them these questions and have them and record them reacting to like answering these questions. So like it should be funny. I'm gonna see how it comes out, and if it comes out dope, I'll release it for you guys to see. Let's see. All right, we have a question from Megan Smith. Hey, it says, "Does Littlefinger survive the season? If not, who kills him and why?" Now, I have a video, like, I did a video in August, I think it was. And that's one of, like, my more viewed videos on my channel. And I did it in August, and I had a whole thought that it was going to be Arya who killed Littlefinger. And it's just, like, everything lines up perfectly for it to be Arya. Like, and it's not going to line up how I said in the theory 100%, but Arya has the ability to pick up on lies. Littlefinger is a freaking liar. He was plotting with Tywin Lannister, and Arya was there at Harrenhal on the TV show, at least, because in the books we know it's not like that. But in the show, Arya heard Littlefinger and Tywin plotting, and then he's with the Starks. Arya's not going to trust him, and that's why I think she gets in possession of the Catspaw dagger. So I definitely think it's going to be I 100% believe that it's going to be Arya that kills him, but if there could be another character that kills him, I think it could be Sansa, because it would make sense after the whole Ramsay debacle. He really botched his plan there. He didn't know what he was doing, and he sent Sansa to a psychopath. So I could definitely see Sansa wanting to get revenge after he is of no use to her. Let's see. I mean, I agree with you. The boy 1D8. Tyrion and Varys are pretty much cool now, right? But if Varys is playing them, I don't think that Tyrion would have much of an issue. I mean, we see that Tyrion is pretty easy to turn coat. Like, yeah, they were gonna kill him, but he switched on his brother and his sister. He killed his father, his nephews, and all that. He didn't kill his nephews, but I mean, you know, he turned on his family, even though they were going to kill him, pretty easily. It was pretty simple, it seemed, the transition. So, I think if Varys does him or Daenerys or their side wrong, or anything like that, where Varys provokes something, like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, if Tyrion were to find out that Shae, if Tyrion were to find out that, like, Shae was in that bed because Varys put it, like, set it up or something, I definitely think that Tyrion would kill him. So, I've always found that pretty fishy, how Tyrion going through there and then ending up in that room. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole topic for another day, though. But I've always found that very, very fishy myself. Let's see. All right, let's see. Marie says, "I think it would be Jaime who will learn a lesson from Olenna. She knows Cersei's secrets." Yes, because we know that Littlefinger gave Olenna, a young man, a gift. So maybe that's how, you know, instead of a letter or anything, you know, funny, maybe this is how, you know, we see that now Jaime turns on Cersei. That would be very interesting to me. Oh, thank you so much again, Marie. Thank you. I mean, like, you guys don't really, like, I really want that mic, because the mic helps. Like, there's, it was funny, because me and Don Willie, we went to YouTube, and they showed us, like, a whole bunch of different mics, right? Me and Don Willie have gone to YouTube a couple of times, and they, you know, they give us, like, courses on what we need for the channel and how to, you know, develop our videos and whatnot. So when me and Don Willie went down there, basically, they showed us different types of mics. And I have a lapel mic for my other camera. Like, this camera is good, but the other camera is, like, you know, HD. So they have a mic that could help my camera cancel out noise. and that's the one that I want to buy. So thank you again, Marie. Thank you again, Mr. Skillen and Curry, and everybody who's donated today. George, thank you again. It helps the channel hell a lot, and we're closer to get that mic. I'm not even joking. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Everybody show Marie some love. Thanks again, Marie. Mr. Skillen says, "Oh shit, yeah, dude, Varys would do that kind of shit to Tyrion." I definitely think that it would be something he would do. Like, you know what I mean? I definitely believe that he would do something like that. All right. Let's see. It's funny because I have like a whole different computer here set up, and this is basically how I have to do it because I don't have two screens here, and I have basically two things open. All right. So let's see. Oh, that would be dope, Biggie. Biggie says, Olenna should tell Jaime that Littlefinger killed Joffrey. Again, that would be maybe important to Cersei. I don't know if Joffrey and Jaime, you know what I mean? I think, if I recall in the books, Jaime was like, you know what I mean? Like he was just like an accident. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Jaime does not like or does not care for Joffrey. Even though it was his son. We saw that he even raped Cersei in front of Joffrey. Like, he had zero respect for Joffrey, and Joffrey likewise. You know what I mean? So I definitely see a scenario in which he wouldn't even care, to be honest. Let's see. Sam Flanagan says, or Arya the Spider Master. I definitely see that. I like that. You know what I mean? That would be dope because the Arya is like what's his name? Liam Nelson from Taken. She has a very unique set of skills. And she could get information. She could be anybody. And that's one other thing that I'm really excited for season 7. I want to see how much Arya could hone what she learned. Like, you know what I mean? How she could actually use that. That would be very, 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 very interesting to me to see how everything plays out and how everything goes down with that. I don't know. I'm curious because we know that she could tell lies. She could be any person if she has their face, and you could even bring up the question if she could wear somebody who's living their face, because I understand that people are like, nah, you know, but in the House of the Undying, what the hell did we see? We saw that Jaqen had the waif had Jaqen's face. Jaqen's face was on this dude. Arya peeled it off, and then Arya's face was on the faces when she peeled it off. It could be she was either hallucinating, or it was like some sort of glamour or something. But there's something there, and I want to see to what extent Arya's powers go. Let's see. Q&A from Marie. Will the Iron Bank hire a faceless man that will be Arya? I mean, I don't think that. It depends on where and what you're saying, right? Because, for example, you have Arya. Let me see. Let me put this bigger here. All right, you have Arya, who is technically a faceless man, but she's not, I guess, because she didn't. I don't think she completed her training 100%, and she doesn't have access to like the certain tools that they have necessarily. She doesn't have access to the Hall of Faces. So on the TV show particularly, I don't see that happening, but in the books I could definitely see something like that happening. Steph has a question. Let's see. Is Cersei now getting her taxes from Baratheon bannermen, etc.? I mean, I'm really hype about it because for the most part, it seems to be confirmed that Gendry will be in. It seems to be pretty much confirmed that Gendry will be in season 7, and if that is indeed the case, I think that it would be smart of Daenerys or Jon or them to put, Gendry or legitimize Gendry. Like, that is a realistic thought. Because, yeah, Daenerys did not like Robert, but if Gendry would be like, I'll bend the knee to you, and he is Robert's bastard, and it is known that he is Robert's bastard, it would be, you know what I mean? Like, they're high lords that would back him. I think that, they could get Gendry into the fold with Jon and Daenerys. But I don't think that they'll be paying Cersei anything. You know what I mean? Especially because Renly did not back, Joffrey or any of the Lannister children, and Stannis hella sure didn't. So I definitely don't see that happening. No, I don't see them getting any money from the Baratheons. That could possibly be where the thing that they're saying that, Cersei tries to even things out, because when you really look at it, in the first episode, Cersei is going to try to even out the odds. To me, that is insane. What is Cersei going to do or attempt to even the odds against Daenerys, who has 3 dragons, the Dothraki, and the Unsullied? That to me is insane. I don't see, and I don't know what she's going to do. The only people that I see her attacking might be Dorne, and I doubt it because Dorne is very proficient. We've seen that with Aegon and his huge army. He wasn't able to conquer it. Then we see that maybe the Tyrells, and maybe the Tyrells, if like say for example, if Randall Tarly betrays them, which I remember someone told me that in the trailer you could see like the Bannermen against, the Dothraki. If that is indeed the case, I could see them attacking the Tyrells, and you could see it in the trailer that the Lannisters do that. I don't know if it's in the first episode, but I mean, the Tyrells do have more soldiers than the Lannisters last time I checked. But that is a great question. Thanks again, Steph. I just got a notification. Thanks again, Megan Smith. I just got it on my phone. Thanks for the donation on my PayPal, because the donations that you donate on YouTube, I think YouTube takes a percentage off of it. I don't know the exact number. We don't get all the total donations that you guys give us, but they give us like a certain percentage. So if you guys want to donate directly to me, I have my PayPal account on my channel. But thanks again for all the donations, and thanks again, Megan Smith, for the donation. Thanks, like, that helps so much. Again, you guys don't know how much that helps. It's insane. Like, I never had a stream like this with so many, giving people, and it helps the channel a lot. Thanks, man. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I just got the notification on my phone. And that's another thing. When you donate on my PayPal, I'll get the notification straight to my phone. So thanks again. It's like it's really crazy though. Like, you know what I mean? I've been doing this like for a year and a half now, and I've gotten to meet and made some awesome friends. Like, I legit feel like a commitment with you guys, and I love doing these videos. It's always awesome, and I really do enjoy doing this. Like, it really does bring me joy that I get to talk something that I love with all you guys. And like, to me, the only thing better than this would be to actually meet you guys. Like, to me, that would be insane. Like, I would be willing to meet anybody. So, you know what I mean? Like, thanks for the love, and I hope that I could give at least some part of what you guys give me back. Thanks again, Megan, for the donation. Oh, I like that, Sam. Sam is going full on tinfoil. Sam says Arya could make her own faces in the crypts of Winterfell. I mean, do you mean she would store the faces there, or do you think she's gonna peel faces off of the Kings of Winter? Because I think that they might be decayed. But, that would be interesting, because we know that the crypts of Winterfell is a place I feel we should explore a bit more on the show. And I think that in the books it might be a little bit more something there. Let's see. Let me give some shout outs in the chat. Let's see. Shout out to Smokeahanis, Sam, Bob O'Connor, Carrie, Rich, Biggie. Thanks for still being here. I mean, that's awesome. Let's see. David Adams holding it down like always. Cammy O, Let's see. Dish Murphy, Todd Fowler, Megan Smith. Let's see. Oh man, that's funny, Megan. She said, like the video, or you support the Red Wedding. I mean, I had this video that I wanted to do. I wanted to do this video like a while back, but I want to do it right. You know what I mean? I wanted to do like a subscribe to the channel, and then I wanted to put like that song that they put like with the puppies, like in the eyes of an angel, and be like, if you don't hit subscribe or whatever, like I'm gonna make the video. I want to bring it like to reality. But thanks again, Megan, for the support. Let's see. This comes a question from Todd Fowler, and it says, what happened to Aegon the Conqueror's Valyrian steel sword? Do you think they will show it on the show? That's what I was saying earlier with Varys. If what they're hinting in the books, that Aegon is Fagon, he's like a fake Targaryen, a Blackfire. You know that basically the Blackfires that name came from the sword. So since that is the case, if they indeed are the Blackfires and they have that sword, that would be interesting. So the only way I think we would see that sword on the show would be through Varys, because Ilario that hasn't really come up on the show. So that would be an interesting point for me. I would really like to see that sword. Like, I want to know. I want to ask you guys a question. What is your favorite weapon on the show? I want to see that in the chat, and then let's see. I'm gonna read the answers out. Let me know in the chat which ones are your favorite Valyrian steel swords or daggers, or whatever your weapon is. Whatever your favorite weapon is, let me know in the chat, and I'll read it out loud when I get to it. All right. Let's see. I mean, I would definitely, like, I would legit meet up with you guys. This comes from Rich Shatwell, and it says, set up a sub meetup. Raise, I'm only 45 minutes train ride away. Yo, I would so be down for that. It would be even better to see an episode with you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to do that. To me, that would be flies all hell. If I could record everybody's reaction and we could have like a spot. The only thing is I would have to see like where we could see it. You know what I mean? Like, if we could rent a place and actually record everybody, that would be dope. Like the season finale, oh my god. That would be insane. That would be dope. I know that there's like bars that, you know, they give the show and they show it. But that would be insane. I would really, really, really love to see that and have that done. So I don't know. That is a good thought. Let's see how the season goes. I probably might look into it. I know that Don Willie knows of a bar. I'm gonna ask Don Willie probably about the bar to see if we could have like a sub and meet, maybe with some other New York YouTubers and whatnot. That would be really dope, because I know that there are a few YouTubers live in New York or close to New York. If we could all see the episode together or an episode, that would be really awesome. Let's see. I'm trying not to jump over. Let's see. All right. Dish Murphy has a question. Dish Murphy says, who is taking out Olenna and why? Let's see. I think that Olenna will blackfish Jaime. Like, I think that she will go down fighting, or Jaime won't get the satisfaction of being like, you did me dirt. You know what I mean? Like, Blackfish went out like a boss. And that's what I feel Lady Olenna is going to do. I feel like Lady Olenna is going to be like, you know what? You're not going to take me as hostage. You're not going to do your stupid whatever thing with me. No, I'm going down like a boss. And I think that's how she's going to go out. I don't think that she's going to get killed. I think she might kill herself. And I think she might be like, I think Olenna is such a boss that I think she'll be like, I killed that little Joffrey bastard. I killed that like, she'll leave like a note. I killed Joffrey, and I had fun doing it too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how boss I think Olenna is. To me, Olenna is like maybe one of my top favorite female characters on the show, and top characters overall. Like, she just has like these saucy one-liners. I just love Lady Olenna, but that's how I see her going out. Dish. Let's see. All right, so we're getting what I said earlier. All right, so it says, let's see what everybody says. Rich says Dawn. Bob O'Connor says Dawn. Bernie Roosevelt says Dawn. Oh my God, Dawn is so popular. Liana Stark says Dawn. Todd Fowler says Longclaw and Lightbringer. Let's see. Peach says Needle. And Megan Smith says on the show Longclaw, but in the books Dawn. Let's see. Game of Thrones with Marie says Ice and Longclaw. Big E says Dawn and Dario's big booty dagger. The big booty dagger. Oh my God. No doubt. No doubt. I definitely like that. I mean, it's interesting. That dagger, like, he really had. I was seeing the episode the other day when Jorah's like, no, we can't take the knives. And he's like, no, I can't let this one go. Like, he really. That is a really cool knife, though. Let's see. Steph says Longclaw. Let's see. No, Dish. It was actually a cool question. The thing is since I have like a touch screen computer, right? So like I'm going through it, and sometimes it just like jumps a bunch of comments, and I have to like scroll. So if I don't see your comment, just keep trying. The thing is just that, you know, it's really hard. But I really love doing this. I'm not even joking. Like, this is awesome. All right, let's see. Steph says Longclaw. Let's see. I would have loved to see House Celtigar's Valyrian Steel Sword Crab Pincer. That would have been dope. I mean, I still have hope that we will see a bunch of other swords, especially because those things make money. Those little replicas and whatnot. Talking about sword, one thing that I want to buy, and this is just me, you know, if I have this, I'm going to be geeking out. It's going to be the Longclaw umbrella. I would be like messing with everyone in my house, sentencing people to die with like a Longclaw umbrella. So that's one of those things that I have on my to buy list, and an actual sword. But one of like my dream would be though to give out a sword on my channel. That would be like if I were like to have like a channel like with like 20, 30,000 subs or something like that. If I were to ever hit that, I would be like, yo, I'm giving away a sword. The only dilemma of giving out a sword is you're never giving a sword to a lunatic, and they might actually like behead someone. I always say that, but it's true. You got to be careful who you're handing swords out to, especially Valyrian Steel. Valyrian Steel cuts so easily, right? Let's see. Steph says, wait. I have a question from Steph. Wait. First, we have a question from David Adams, and I'll get to Steph. What episode do we see the White Walkers the first time this season? Ooh, that is a good question. I mean, I think that we will see them by episode. Let me see. I think episode 4. No, wait. Episode 6 is going to be when we see the White Walkers and Jon fighting and Beric and all of them. I think that's episode 6, right? So I think that Bran might do like a recon mission, maybe with the Ravens, before that. That would be interesting to me if you know what I mean, because I don't think that Jon would just go blindly like with 12 guys to face an army of 1,000. So I think he's gonna have some info. So I think by episode 4 we would have already seen at least a vision or Bran spying in on them. But that is a dope question. I really like that question because I haven't thought about that. By what episode? Let's see. We have another question from Steph, and it says, a riot in King's Landing, yay or nay? I mean, anytime that we have mass amounts of people in King's Landing and we have a Lannister running things, I think we could get a riot. But do I think we want to see one? Hell yeah. I want to see how Cersei handles this. To be honest, I want to see if she handles it like Joffrey, because Joffrey handled it poorly. Like, Joffrey was like, bring me their head, I want them dead, and they were just throwing shit at him and shit. So I would definitely want to see some riots. I want to see, like, I really enjoy when, like, that one scene when we saw that when they thought that they were gonna give Marjorie her walk of atonement. That scene when Jaime runs up the stairs with the horse, it looks CGI, it looks computerized, but it looked dope. I just love seeing all of King's Landing there, and it's like, it lives up to the hype of how many people live in King's Landing. Because remember, Jaime said he saved 500,000 when he was with Brienne. No, wait. 500,000 when he was talking with Qyburn. That to me was dope, and I like seeing mass groups of people in certain places. Let's see. Yeah, Megan, I do agree. The dagger, the cat's paw dagger, is one of those things that it's like, damn, that looks sexy. Like that dagger looks badass. It really does. Let's see. Yeah, Big E, I checked it out. ValerianSteel.com. Uh, I think that one of the more cheaper ones is Needle. I think Needle is like $200. But I don't know. If I were to get one, I would have to get Longclaw, right? Because Longclaw is like the Jon Snow sword or Oathkeeper, one of those two. But I know that they have, I think, a Damascus Steel Oathkeeper, and it looks kind of like reddish. That one looks dope. That would be freaking awesome. But that one costs like $800. You're not getting that sword for cheap. Let's see. Damn, this joint just jumped. Let's see. All right. This comes from Megan. Do you think Cersei will lie about the set? Of course. I mean, it would not be smart for Cersei to be like, yeah, I blew it up. I mean, they made. You just have to look at what Joffrey did. Joffrey beheaded Ned in front of the Sept, and it was this huge deal, right? Imagine if Cersei confessed or fessed up or said, yeah, I blew it up, and what? Yo, there's one thing that the High Sparrow said that is so true. They are the few and they are the many, you know, being the common folk. So I definitely don't think Cersei will confess to that. I think that, you know, she'll probably pin it on the Tyrells or the Sand Snakes, because that's what they're making it out to seem like, there's some terrorist group or something like that. So I could definitely see Cersei not fessing up to that at all. Most definitely, no, I don't see her. That's a great question. But knowing Cersei could also be like, I don't care, I'm the boss. Let's see. That pick gave away, though. I'm sure that is how Littlefinger will die. Arya will stab. I mean, I do agree, Marie, that pick was one of those picks. It's like that scene with Cersei and a certain character in chains. It's like, why do you show this character in chains? Because that gives away that she will be... Like, that gives you no hope for this character when you're watching the show. I'm not going to say the character. That's why I didn't even put up the image or anything of it, because I don't want to... We're 1 week away, you know what I mean? I don't want to spoil anybody. Like, I don't want to be spoiled. I want to be, you know, genuine when I watch it. I want to see it. I want to react to it. I'm so hyped. Like, I don't even get hyped for Marvel movies or anything like I do for Game of Thrones, so I don't want to spoil myself. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the Amazon replica, I mean, the Valyrian Steel replica of Longclaw is dope. I mean, it's just like on the show. You know what I mean? You have your own Valyrian Steel sword. The only thing is that I am a big kid, I think. I think that I would want to be playing with it. And I don't think you should be playing with a freaking sword. You know what I mean? It's a sword. So, you know what I mean? I like it because it's a collector's item. It comes, like, certified that it's, like, authentic and all that. But, man, me with a sword, I'd be hunting White Walkers in New York, just walking with my sword. Be like, yo, you seen any White Walkers around? That would be insane. During the winter, oh my God, can you imagine going down, like, while it's snowing in New York, winter is coming. Oh my God, you know what I mean? You know nothing. Oh my God, I'm so hyped. I don't even have the sword, and look at how I'm goofing around. To be honest, talking about swords, I feel that Dawn did not live up to the hype on the show. Right? They didn't hype it up like they did it, but I feel that there should be some type of material. Shit, even make it out of glass or put like the effects afterwards or whatever. But you have to make it pale and you have to the hilt make it look dope. Like, I feel like it was underwhelming, me personally. Let me know, do you think that Dawn looked as good as you read it? Because the whole fallen star thing and Pella's milk glass and all that, like, to me, it didn't live up to the hype. But that's just me. It didn't look pale to me. Megan Smith says she would be sitting on her couch with Longclaw watching Game of Thrones on TV. That's what You know what? I think me and you agree. I think I would be doing the exact same thing. Let's see. I mean, I this comes from Big E, right? He says, "I want Bran's visions to go back to the past and find out if the Night King was a Stark." I personally believe that there is some, because just think about it. For the Night King to have this personal vendetta against the Children of the Forest and everybody who's living, he must have been sold out. Like, there has to be something there. And I think that it's maybe he was like a green seer, maybe the first green seer human or something. And I don't know, maybe humans betrayed him and thought he was like with the Children of the Forest. And then the Children of the Forest betrayed him and then he's just really salty or something. But there has to be something there, because why? One, him and Bran are linked. Maybe they share blood. Also, when you look, the whole Green Seer thing, like, I don't know, there's something more there that I think we are going to get that this season. I do think we're going to get something very much in the past that we haven't gotten yet. Let's see. Cammy O, the name of the episodes are Dragonstone for episode 1 of season 7. Episode 2 is Stormborn. And then episode 3 is The Queen's Justice. I mean, they're pretty much forthtelling, I believe. You know, everything that they show on there. So, let's see. Megan Smith, you're a savage. I mean, I don't think Arya could behead Littlefinger with that dagger. He is pretty skinny, but I don't think that would work. Let's see. Dish Murphy says, "Does the Mountain need Qyburn to survive?" That's an interesting point, because I was watching season 6 the other day. I was watching the episode when Jamie says that he couldn't even put a sentence together before, and I was watching that and I was like, "Yo, Qyburn is he seems very essential to to the Mountain surviving, it looks like, or working out." If you buy a Mercedes or you buy a Benz, if you buy a Benz or a BMW or an Audi, these cars, these very high maintenance cars, need maintenance. You need to take those cars in to the dealership and they mess with it. You know what I mean? They fix it and check it out for you. That's what I feel is with the Mountain. I feel that the Mountain is a very high powered sports car for Cersei. He's a very powerful tool, and he needs maintenance. I think that the only thing keeping him alive is basically Qyburn. I think if Qyburn were to not be there, I don't think that the Mountain would last very long. And also, it's interesting because in the books, Qyburn has a lot of like women and shit. Like, Qyburn is a creep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really do him justice in the, like, you know what I mean? They don't do him justice on the show from how crazy he is. He did his experiments. He did it. He was like, "Yeah, leave me the dead head." Like, you know, the guy who wasn't Tyrion, he took his head and whatnot. But they don't show him taking the women and experimenting on people and shit like how he does in the books. So it would be interesting to me to see, you know, how that ends up, Dish. But that is a great question. I mean, I think he is very much needed for the Mountain. I don't think that the Mountain would last long without him. Let me see. Oh my God! Wait, let's see. All right. This is a question from Chi Mi Na, and I can't pronounce the other one, so my bad. You know, I don't want to butcher it. But it says, "Do you think that the Valonqar prophecy is actually about Jon's little brother, Rickon, being raised as a white who goes out and chokes Cersei?" Now, one, I don't think that Rickon will be revived, because, for one, Jon did say he was going to bury him in the Crypts of Winterfell. And the Crypts of Winterfell has something that is very interesting from how any other burial or death ceremony, like we saw that Hosta Tully was burned. We know that Marcella, I think, was burned, or yeah, I believe Tommen was burned, and basically the set blew up, whatever. So the way I see it going down is that I don't think Rickon will be revived. And one, you see that the Kings of Winter and the Crypts of Winterfell, they have like swords across them. So I know that a lot of people tend to believe that might be to like defend themselves against death or evil spirits or whatnot. And you could look at the White Walkers as like evil spirits or malintended or something. So to me, that would be interesting to see what that, what that entails. I was talking with someone, I think it was Phil H, a couple of weeks ago about if there's something in Winterfell, you know what I mean? And I know that Gray Area has an awesome video on this. Shout out to Gray Area. She has an awesome video about, why Winterfell is called Winterfell. You know what I mean? Like maybe someone called Winter fell there, and that's where Winter fell, whatever. There's a lot of awesome thoughts out there. But do I think that anybody in the Crypts of Winterfell will be revived? No, because I think that the way they set up their crypts, it seems very like a way to keep those type of things out of there. It seems like sacred and well protected. So I don't think that we'll see anything like that. No. I believe that the Valonqar prophecy will be Jaime that kills Cersei, because Cersei has this whole thing that she is one with Jaime, and that she has this obsession with Jaime, and I just think that Jaime's gonna be the one to take her out. I don't think it's Euron or anybody else. I think it's gonna be Jaime. Let's see. All right. But guys, I'm going to be cutting it off here. I don't see any questions or anything, but I am going to be cutting it off here because I gotta go. It's funny when I do these live streams, like everything in my house is on lockdown. Nobody could make noise, no nothing. I have like a setup of lights over here. I have the screen behind me. So I guess movement has to resume in my household. But thanks again, guys, so freaking much for all the support you guys give me, all the love. The donations have been insane today. Thank you so much again. And again, if you guys ever want to off any stream, you can check my my PayPal. You can donate directly there, and their YouTube doesn't get any cuts of anything. But again, thanks again through any type of donation, anything, any help you guys give. Something that people underestimate, I guess, is that by sharing a video in with your friends or other people who don't know of the channel, or spreading the word, it helps the channel so much grow, and it brings new people to the community, and it always keeps it fresh. And again, thank you so much for all the support. I want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat before I go. Shout out to Peach, Carrie, Todd, Marie again, Sam, Megan, Steph, let's see, Phil H, David Adams, Rich, David Baggett, let's see, Dish Murphy, let's see, Big E, thanks again, bro, Bernie Roosevelt, Bob O'Connor. Thanks to everyone in the chat who, is joining. And again, guys, like I said, I also have a video on Sansa coming out. I know that a lot of guys love Sansa, a lot of you guys don't. I have a video on Sansa and my thoughts about her recent remarks. I'll probably have that out for tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And guys, again, thanks as always, guys. As always, it's a true pleasure. My name is Ray, and peace.